And whatever you do, don't let it fall into the wrong hands.
We're going to start with Abelardo. As you remember, Mordenkainen opened up a rip in space and pulled you through and cast an illusion that made it look like your body was devoured by scarab beetles. We're going to go back to that moment and explain it in a little bit more detail. Because as you were pulled into this black void, you sort of take a moment to look around you, and you can see these sort of the edges of your vision in this black void are sort of swirling, almost like liquid. And you feel your consciousness sort of double. There's no other word for it. You can sort of start to see another version of yourself in front of you, just floating in this black void. And then your vision clears. It's no longer black. You're standing on solid ground in an open, grassy field. You're outside Orphea, the city where you have spent a lot of your time. The rest of your party is sitting behind you at a campsite, and they turn to you and say, Abe, what are you doing? Why are you staring off into the distance? As you hear them behind you and you go to turn to answer them, you see a little scarab beetle like scuttle away into the distance, but it's of no special significance to you. Cool. So as Abe turns around and looks at you guys, do you want to describe what your character's like, starting with Ash?
Yes, fellows. Monty is a rather gangly furbolg. So I'm from a forest tribe, but I now find myself amongst you guys. I'm a cleric, specializing in honor, just to look after everyone, make sure you're all healed up, kind of making sure everyone is having a great time. I want everyone to have an absolutely great time. Okay. And I just like want to make the world a better place.
Nice. Sorry, just before we go on to Sheila, I forgot to set the scene a little bit. You're sitting around this campfire in the middle of this grassy field, and it looks a little bit like this. So you see here where there's Orphea?
Yep.
You're in kind of the field a little bit south of it, so roughly here. And you've just come back from dispersing a band of bugbears that was sort of loitering on the outskirts of the city. And you all found each other in Orphea because you were looking for work, and it was sort of the nearest, most famous city in which work for adventurers such as yourselves could be found. And you bonded many years ago over your shared forest upbringing, because in the process of bumping into each other at notice boards and bounty hunters people looking for bounty hunters, you ended up discovering that you were all raised in a woodland or a forest far from civilization. And when you come to this big city, Orphea, you feel a little bit out of place, and you all kind of bonded over that. But like I said, the specifics of how that worked, you guys can describe, but I just want to set the scene a little bit. Sheila, do you want to describe your character, Abe?
Sure. Abe is Dragonborn, Frost, all white, pretty much. I do have Frost,
Breath. Cone of frost.
Yeah. He's the only one that remains from his tribe or whatever it is, and he is pretty much a big silent teddy.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fraser, I think.
You also have an axe.
Yes.
Silent axe wielding teddy bear.
Between them. Yes. I'm very friendly with my axe.
I think Fraser's character Zenarai is next.
Sure. So my character is a thief, which as a race, way back in the annals of history, they made a deal with the lord of the Seven Hells, Asmodeus, cursed their bloodline. So they are kind of big red things with goat's horns. Hence, wherever they go, they're reviled by humans in society. So they either get by leaning into that, or as my character does, by being quite adept at intimidation and deception. So my character abandoned as a baby. He was taken in by a druidic cult that worshipped the god of nature, Sylvanus, and definitely wanting to integrate into their culture, but not being able to as a non-magic user, made a pact with Sylvanus for her to become the patron, which is who I get my magic ability. So I have usually a warlock, but also I've got some special abilities that are kind of druidic, and my aim is to further the druid her agenda.
What was that last bit? Further druid, what?
The druid Sylvanus' agenda.
Oh, her agenda. Okay.
He
Crack on
probably
what? Oh,
He can
okay.
hear us right now.
He says,
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
going. All right, cool. Give us your character's introduction, Hugo / Josa? Hoser?
Josa, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So my character is called Josa Greenfoot of the Greenfoot tribe or clan or something. Basically, they are a pretty peaceful tribe of halflings who live in the forests, kind of farming and shit. But Josa, he was or still is the child of the mayor. And basically, because they kind of are frontier folk, they're constantly dealing with like raids and stuff. And when he was only a baby and the only child of the mayor of this town, they were raided by orcs, a pack of orcs and goblins, and lots of people were killed, including the mayor and his wife. So Joseph Greenfoot is without parents, and from then on, growing up, he had a slightly privileged life because he had a bit of money from the inheritance and stuff, but he preferred basically to live outside of society in the woods surrounding the farms. And he kind of, in a one-man quest to defend his village from ever being, or his town from ever being raided again, he sort of took it upon himself to become the kind of silent watcher in the woods and make sure that they weren't ever attacked. So he kind of spent his life growing up in the forests. Being a halfling, though, they are still very sociable and friendly, and so he would occasionally sort of come back into town where he would be greeted, and he was much liked, even if he was a bit of a outsider and a loner. And they would sort of welcome him, and he would chat, and he enjoys a session in the inn. But he would always have the call of the forest back to him, so he'd have to go back out. He has a pet panther, who he it's a female pet panther, but he jokingly named it Dave. So his pet panther Dave. They met. Basically, lots of orcs continued to raid the area throughout his life, and he generally preferred to, rather than resort to killing them, he would use deception and stealth to sort of waylay them and kind of misdirect them. And so he kind of grew up as a relatively peaceful wilderman. Basically, he still had this bit of a revenge trait.
So not the hero that your village needed, but the hero that your village deserved.
Some would say.
It was a very just as you were describing that, like the Watcher in the darkness. I got a very like Batman vibe. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, it's good. He met the panther. I'll go into more detail at some point, but basically they met while the panther was also defending its home from some orcs, and they teamed up one day to murder some orcs, and then from then on, they became good buddies. And that's where I'll leave the story.
Cool.
And now he is kind of a bow for hire, tracks down people, uses his great sort of natural sense and perception to hunt people down or things or lost stuff or kind of track missing people or stuff like that. So he's kind of a bit of a mercenary, but always returns to the woods, which is where he feels he belongs.
Nice. But just before I do some more descriptions, do you want to have a go, Fraser, of relogging in? I think he was trying to say.
Oh, well, very briefly, I just realized I didn't actually describe the character's appearance at all. He is halfling, kind of average height halfling, about 3 foot, kind of like ruggedy looking, like my picture, like unshaven, dark hair, and he's a stout halfling, so he's a little bit stockier than normal. But yeah, he's mainly he's quite good at like flipping and shit, and doing backflips and wall running and stuff, because that's what he always did in the woods. So, but yeah, very very sneaky.
Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna, before I do more description, I'm just gonna.
He's quite tall.
I'm regular for Dragonborn, but I'm 6 foot.
6 foot something.
6 foot 8.
Yeah, I'm a 7 foot. Well, Sheila said she's like a teddy bear. I'm basically a 7 foot teddy bear.
Okay.
Although straight, I am a male wearer, so it's kind of would be soft but covered in a hard exterior.
Okay. So you
I
can
think
take a bit of a beating, or not really?
Yeah, I can take quite a beating. I think Monty's quite paunchy as well. Just quite a large and sort of both gangly and paunchy. I'd say gangly with a beer belly kind of proportions.
Pangly or gaunchy.
Gaunchy, exactly.
One of the main abilities or strengths of Joser as well. Yeah, it's that tracking. So he always keeps a good what's the word, good boundaries on the campsite. He's always got an eye out for anyone approaching, or if we need to find someone, and no one sneaks up on fucking Joser.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
sorry.
That's okay. You can swear as much as you want.
Okay.
And it's probably actually I might as well say another important part. Like I always want to protect the group, almost desperately want to protect the group, and I'm also I have the ability to lots of restoration, lots of shielding, lots of wards.
Cool.
But I'm also incredibly worried about how anything might turn out. I'm quite sort of tetchy. So I also have a few abilities that involve far seeing and trying to divine the future to see how it's going to turn out.
Awesome.
I'm good with maps.
Have a lot of maps.
My character is understandably terrible at people skills because he doesn't speak to them rarely, very often. He mainly talks to his panther Dave. Which he can ride, by the way. He's trained Dave to take him as a mounted ranger. And Joseph mainly uses his bow to kill people or things.
Do we have Fraser?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Okay, give us a projected, powerful stage whisper.
Look over there.
Okay, that was better.
Okay. So just a few personality traits about my character. He's ultimately beneficent, and he uses his beneficence to intimidate people. But he always does it, and there's nothing particularly evil or untoward about him, despite his horns and devil.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. All right, so just to add some flavor to your descriptions, I've labeled these areas because these are the forests that you guys are from. So the Noxious Thicket is where Abe is from. And it's called that because there is a volcanic, an old volcanic fault beneath that area that produces very fertile, fast-growing plants, but it also smells kind of sulfurous. And the crouching forest here is where, sorry, I gotta sort out in my head who's called what. Monty is from. So the Furbolg tribe is kind of in this crouching forest. Amora's Woods is where Zenarai's adoptive tribe is from, near the city of Amora. And obviously, I've highlighted these because this is where you would be familiar with. So you sort of in your head have this understanding of this area. And the younger forest over here, kind of further away, is where Joseph's village is from. near the smaller town of Rival. Awesome. And this whole land in general is called Drab, just here. Cool. Any questions so far?
No.
Awesome.
One fell through.
You see, as you're sort of packing up your campsite and going back to Orphea to collect your reward for dispersing this band of bugbears that was loitering outside the city, as you're packing up your campsite and you're about to head back for about the half a day's journey to Orphea, you see an old man cross the path ahead of you. He seems to be somewhat struggling beneath an overladen rucksack, and he looks to be a human of sort of slightly past middle age, and he's also appears to be heading towards Orphea, but that's what you see as you head towards the city. You see on the left, distantly, there is a river here, and then beyond that is a jungle that is sort of in this area. And on the right-hand side, you see these little hills that are in this long line, and they're very unnatural-looking hills. Everybody can give me a history check, please. The first check of the session.
Oh.
How does one do that practice?
You
Click
can
on history and then click beyond 20.
What do you do?
Right.
What's your modifier?
Ooh.
10.
where are we? Oh,
A
okay.
mighty 8.
Okay, so we've got hand axe, a guiding bolt, a history. Okay, so we've got not quite everyone. We've got Zenarai and Josa.
Okay, I did it manually. We did it manually. So I'll just-
Yeah, by all means.
we
By
can
all
start, we can
means.
start doing it on here if that'll be easier.
Yeah, it's up.
Yeah,
It's
I
up to
think
you. I'm just providing as many tools as I can, really.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
it makes sense. It
You
definitely
make it easier.
will make it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, just so that I can test one of these features, there's meant to be a. Sorry, just let me double check here, and then I will tell you the results of your rolls. Okay, cool. So if I go, here we go. Test. Can anyone see what I just typed except for Ash can, but no one else can?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So that's just in case something, I don't know, one of you guys wants to steal something from the other one and we've got to do stuff that, the other people can't see.
Oh, okay. So you
Cool.
can whisper.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So a 14, a 10, an 8, and a 17. So Zenarai is the only one who sort of has an inkling as you look to your right and look at these little crouching hills is what they're called, but you look at them and you remember something in the back of your mind about a story about sort of in thousands of years ago times, like Titans would, this site could have been the site of a battle between Titans and gods and sort of jumped up humans, and you don't know the details, but you get the sense that this isn't a naturally occurring set of hills, and something in the back of your mind remembers that. Cool. You see this old man sort of struggling under his enormous rucksack ahead of you, and you've got about half a day's journey until you get to the city or the outskirts of the city. Is there anything you want to do in that time?
I like helping. Helping's good, guys. Should we help?
This man has seen it. We must assess his level of threat.
Okay, you guys go and speak to him. I'm going to go and chill out in the forest.
Okay.
Okay, so tell me who wants to what?
I think I'm gonna chill with Dave and
Joseph. So, sorry, is the aim? Are we hoping to reach Orphea by today?
Well-
or are we setting up camp, or was it?
Yeah, basically you're familiar with this journey and you would know you're only a few hours away from Orphea, but rather than me just say you arrive, I'm giving you the chance to, if you want to do anything during that time before you arrive.
I want to go over to this guy and suss him out, see what his deal is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come with.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to,
I'm going to wander into the forest and just make sure we're not getting like a trap set up or something.
Okay, there's probably some thick copses of straggler trees that parallel your path back to Orphea. I'll say that you are investigating them and seeing if you're being followed, if there are traps, etc., right?
Yeah. That's what I'll
Okay,
be doing.
cool. And
Sending Dave ahead.
okay, cool. I will get you to do a check in a second. Just remind me after I do this other check. So, what's Abe doing? I think we got intentions from everyone else.
I was still thinking. No, I'll go with the ones that are going to actually talk to someone in case that something bad happens, given that I'm the big bad guy.
Okay, cool. You guys will go over and you want to make an assessment. Everybody that's going over to the old man, roll an insight check, please.
Wait, I'm still here.
Oh, nice. You guys are getting really quick at that. I will say, we got 2 checks from Abelardo. I'll use the first one just...
Oh, I did not. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how that one happened.
Okay. Okay, I will say, Monty, you get a sense, and, this is probably quite a popular sense that you get, that this guy's just a normal guy trying to get by. He seems to be just focused on his task and not loitering around with any nefarious intent. You get no causes for alarm. Do you engage him? He says, am I in your way? Sorry, I'll walk further over to this side.
No problem, stranger. Do you need any help there? What are you trying to do?
Oh, I'm taking back some of my haul to sell at the Secret Scroll. Yeah, you're more than welcome to help me if you want. He holds out one of his side bags.
Haul's an interesting word. Where did you get this stuff, old man?
I'm a procurer. I sort of scour the local environment, old ruins, forests, collapsed cities to see if there's anything worth selling. And he has this little naughty twinkle in his eye, but in sort of good-natured way. And then I bring it back to the Secret Scroll, and old Jesse gives me a good price for it.
Plundering the tombs of the dead.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was after plundering the tombs of the dead?
I ask him perhaps if he knows something about the side of the battlefield.
Oh, to the east. Okay. I will get him to do a check.
Zenoi, by the way, just very quickly, your audio will improve a lot if you put headphones in your phone, because I think it's when other people talk we can't hear you anymore, because I think it's fighting the...
Okay, so you asked him whether he knows anything about the battlefield to the east from long, long ago. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He says, he squints into the distance and says, yeah, I've always thought those hills are a bit odd, but no, I don't know anything about a battlefield. Sorry, I'm more about trinkets. And he gestures over his shoulder.
Do we have much money amongst us?
You can go into your character sheet, I think it's equipment, and it should be listed there.
Just so you know, while this is happening, Josa is he slunk off into the woodlands, but he's found a vantage point where he can keep an eye on the whole situation.
Oh yeah, sorry, thank you for reminding me. Could you do a perception check, please?
Yes.
It says currency 0. What currency
Okay.
is mine for it?
We've got an 11.
Equipment.
I will say you don't see any traps in the undergrowth beside you. You don't see any nefarious characters coming up. Yeah, everything looks A-okay from a vantage point.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so where was I? We did that. You noticed that. Is there anything else you would like to do, Joseph, before we continue moving time ahead? Because this is theoretically happening simultaneously.
No, I think I'll just start oiling my bow.
Nice. You do that.
Staring at the
Cool.
situation.
What we see now is you start to come upon the outskirts of Orphea, and It's called the Outer Ring, this sort of like clutch of homesteads and taverns and shops that sort of surround the moat-defended central city. And you see all the usual stuff you see, farms, homesteads, shacks, stables. Then you come across the sort of slightly more inner city version of the Outer Ring, and you follow this guy towards this strip of shops that's kind of the main street, but in a kind of dilapidated sort of way. You see he's heading towards a store called the Secret Scroll. The building itself is quite disheveled, but that sign that says Secret Scroll is very well kept. Beside it, to the left, is a tavern called the Rowdy Muse, and beside that is another tavern called the Broken Gauntlet. And you see this old man head towards the Secret Scroll and hold his hand out towards, Ash's character's name, which is Monty, and say, thank you, you've been so helpful. Could you hand that back to me?
Hand what back? Sorry.
This is, he gave you the bag to hold. I was just assuming that you held it being the sort of friendly fellow you are.
Yeah, he seems nice. Sure.
Okay, he takes it back and he says, I'll only be a few minutes in here. We could go next door for a vintner's ale afterwards if you fancy a drink. I'll see you in a little bit. And he heads into the Secret Scroll. And you guys are sort of standing in the high street, as it were, of kind of this outer ring of Orthia.
I wonder which pub he was talking about.
He gestured to the left-hand side, which is the Rowdy Muse.
Okay.
I don't trust that man.
I like him.
I think he drinks at a nice spot. That's probably where I would have gone.
Cool. So what would you guys like to do? You see people sort of ambling around, chatting sort of in little groups and pointing a little bit at Zinnerai and sort of then looking away when he looks towards them.
Let's get inside, boys.
Drinks are on me. Let's go to the Rowdy Muse. Maybe we'll chat to that guy later.
Yeah, well, maybe if I think he's nice, but maybe if you guys are not so sure, maybe the person who he sells things to at the shop will tell us more about him, whether he's to be trusted.
That's an interesting point.
Well, we've got to wait for him to come out first, then.
Yeah. We need to
follow in straight away.
Yeah.
What do you think of this guy?
I have a suggestion. We could go inside. I could cast darkness on the room, and then we can have a nosy about without him seeing us.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also I have the ability to cast a circle of truth in which no one can lie, which could also work in said situation.
I say maybe we save that for later on when we've got him one-on-one. If we want to pin him down on something, because at the moment he's just a guy who's picked up some treasure. Yeah. Well, if we know that maybe he's lying to us or he's got a quest that we might want, then that's when we could get the truth out of him.
Should we choose a pub then, folks?
Yes. Anything to get out of the streets.
Yeah, Rowdy Muse sounds good. Sounds like my kind of place.
I don't like rowdy things, but I'll come along, sure.
Yeah, I'll protect you, don't worry.
Okay, so
3-foot halfling.
I need that. A giant 7-foot bear needs that kind of protection.
Come, children. Let's go trade.
Okay, so you guys head into the Ruddy Muse, and it's quite a small tavern. It's kind of, the curtains are mostly drawn, so very little natural light gets into here. It's about just coming up to lunchtime, maybe 11:30 a.m., and you see a little group of 3 nuns, or what you assume are religious people. In your head, you just assume they're nuns, sitting in this table against the far wall. And you see a bartender sort of behind the bar on the left side. And there's a couple of tables in between. One person sort of drinking by themselves, looks like a farmer, dirt on his hands. And then the bartender says, hello, what can I get you?
I dislike nuns. I cast thaumaturgy.
Hey.
What? Thaumaturgy has a bunch of different effects. Which effect do you want to use?
Yeah. I would like it to create harmless tremors in the ground around a group of nuns.
Okay.
Just so they leave.
You see the bartender kind of put his glass down and clutch the bar and look around and make sure his glasses don't fall down. And then you see the nun sort of stand up and go, "Do you think he needs us, sisters? Do you think he's calling? Do you think he's finally going to come down?" "No, no, sister, it's just a tremor. Don't worry, sit down, it'll pass." And then sort of sit down cautiously. What else would you like to do?
I'd like to listen into their conversation.
You want to eavesdrop on the nun's conversation?
Yes.
Okay. You don't want them to know that you're doing that?
I could probably get a good listen in using my stealth.
Then maybe you should do it, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Abelardo nudges you.
Stealthy.
Okay, I don't understand what you want to find out, but I'll do it for you if you want.
Okay, give us a stealth check.
Okay. Which I have proficiency in as well, but I don't know what that does.
It just means it's more likely to succeed. Okay,
Wonderful.
with a 10. Well, because this is obviously, you're in the middle of a tavern. It's not a hiding kind of thing. You're just sort of trying to act natural. It's an acting natural check. And what you sort of like, it's not terribly hard to do. The nuns don't seem to care much that you're relatively close to the table. You manage to look towards the bartender as though you're paying attention to something else. And you hear little snippets of conversation that sound like, "Oh, he was gone again this morning. He must like bread, freshly baked. Did we leave any music this time? Oh no, we left sheet music. That's right. Okay. So tomorrow we'll bring sheet music, bread, and hopefully he'll take it again. What do you think, Mother?" "Yes, I think we should stick with the traditional things. Beer, that's always good." And you sort of hear this list of things that they seem to be bringing to someone or something and hoping that it is accepted, almost like an offering of some sort. And the bartender, who sees you guys come in, says, "Well, come on, speak up. If you're not drinking, then loiter elsewhere."
I cast thaumaturgy again.
You see the bartender. Yeah, go on.
This time to make my voice boom up to 3 times as loud. And I shout at him, "Ales!"
Okay. And he says, "Okay, let's just for fun. This isn't strictly necessary, but roll an intimidation check just for funsies."
All of us?
No, just Zenrai.
God, these are some weak ass rolls.
13. Okay. He says, all right. There's no need to shout. That'll be 1 copper each. Get it on the table. I'll pour it." And he goes back to this keg and starts pouring you. How many ales did you ask for?
I didn't. I just shouted ales.
Okay, he's going to make 1 for each of you.
I just want a mineral water.
He says,
This guy.
Do you mean water?"
Yes, that one. Sure.
All right. Water's
Remind me
free.
not to drink with you again.
Water's free. You're lucky your friends are having ale now. Sit down or stand somewhere other than the middle of the floor. You're making me nervous.
Okay, so I sneak back over and sort of go, "Come on, guys, over here." We move over to one of the tables that was over to the other side.
Okay.
And say,
Go on.
well, so that's, while he's pouring the beers, I just kind of catch the eyes of you lot and just say, "Yeah, those nuns, not really sure. I think they were just talking about an offering of some kind. Don't know, it sounds like some magic stuff to me. Some kind of spiritual being, maybe, or a priest of some sort, something about sheet music, and I don't know. Who knows what they're talking about?"
Oh, I understand a lot about religion, actually. But I still couldn't. All the things they were saying were quite regular. So
Yeah,
I don't think I can shine any light on anything, so to speak. She's shine a light. I do like light.
I trust not the pagan ramblings of those old crones.
I'll say, Monty, could you please give me a religion check just to see how much you know from what you've heard, if you can put anything together.
Sure thing.
Okay, you and
Double.
yeah, it's the same
Wait a
thing.
minute.
Once,
Wait a
just
minute.
press once.
I think you can. Okay, I see why.
Yeah.
Why?
You can just click. Yeah, I think you can just click the name on the.
Yeah, and it gives you
Yeah.
the thing directly.
Yeah, some things I think you need to click on and then click the sub button, but some things you can just click the name, I think.
Yeah, I think the things in the main
checks
skill
are
list,
fine.
the skill lists, you can
It's
just
the
click
casting of things or attacks that actually need the extension.
Should I do another, or happy to use one?
No, I'm happy to use
Go with the first one.
Yeah, let's go with the first one. Okay, so with an 11, you kind of remember, because you've spent a bunch of time in Orphea since venturing out of the nearby woodlands, so you're relatively familiar with goings-on of the city, and you would know that these are most likely Orpheites. Orpheites are devotees of the city's patron, Orpheus, but you can't remember much else, aside from the fact that the city hasn't actually seen their patron in a long time. He lives at the top of the tallest tower in the central moated city district, and you get a sense that these are probably Orpheites.
Okay.
I know something about patrons, fellow party members. Sometimes they can be benevolent, and sometimes they can be evil. I don't trust these old crones.
You see the bartender comes over with 3 ales and 1 water, and he holds his hand out and he says, 3 coppers, please, come on.
I think I have money, so I can probably go with that.
Yeah, you guys can
cheers,
just
Galahad.
make a note of it, and you can remove it from your actual equipment later, because it's definitely in there somewhere. I'm just not sure
Yeah, I
which
have
sub-app.
10 gold towards that.
Yeah. You can click on it and it's like remove and stuff.
So yeah, basically you would go down to, I mean, we don't necessarily have to do it this way, but you could go from change 10 to 9 gold, then you would have 9 silver, and then you would have 7 copper.
Okay.
Okay, it's a bit more complicated now. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so he says thank you and walks away. You guys are sort of quietly sitting there. You see that one solo farmer guy gives a sidelong look at Zenarai and sort of goes like this, and then goes back to looking at his drink and sort of trying to look elsewhere.
Is my thaumaturgy still active? The booming one.
Well, it's a.
Well, you've been talking about how you don't trust those crones.
No, it doesn't. Unless you recast it, those were just at normal volume.
Okay, I recast thaumaturgy, and I shout at the farmer, "Something interests you, friend."
Oh, nothing. I was just leaving. I'll see you later, Graham. Money's on the table, and he shuffles out the door.
Not so fast, friend.
He looks over his shoulder. Yes. Is anything wrong?
In my culture, one has to pay to see a spectacle.
Okay.
That'll cost you 1 ride of drinks.
Okay, give me. I feel like this would be intimidation.
At this point, Joseph is kind of just eyes down, shuffling a little bit further away from the group. He's not exactly against this, but I just can't be asked.
Okay,
I'm going to try and I'm standing there to try and reassure him, but my physical stature probably does anything but.
Yeah, you kind of get up over to hey, it's okay, and just growling at him.
Yeah.
Okay, with the 7, you make this loud, convincing sort of trying to, intimidate him into paying for the drinks, and he says, he looks left and right, looks at the door, and says, "Oh yeah, I left the money on the table. That's enough for all of you," and then he just runs out the door. And when you look at the table, it's not that far away from you. It's clearly only money for his drink.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that man was lying.
Okay, you actually, can everybody look at that character sheet and tell me what your passive perception is? It should be bottom left-ish.
13.
Mine's 14.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10.
I know mine is 13, but
Yeah, it's here.
Okay, I will say Josa notices this noise, this kind of vibration, different from when Zenarai was using thaumaturgy to sort of make rumbles and enhance his voice. You hear a thudding noise coming from the building next door, and yeah, it's sort of localized to the back of the building, and you think, oh, that's weird.
What is the building next door? Where is that next door? Is in the
That's the scroll.
scroll shop, right?
It's
Yeah.
a
That old man is
secret
okay.
scroll, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, there's a thudding coming from the shop next door. We should probably check it out.
I told you that man couldn't be trusted.
Finish the drinks or go now? What do you reckon?
Let's
Yeah,
down
not
it.
clear, so go.
Let's down it.
You
Yeah.
down it? All right.
Down the
I am not
water.
going to down it because I am violent enough as it is. So.
You see the bartender kind of look up at that with a concerned look and look down, and sort of his hand goes under his the counter of his bar. He looks anxious.
Is he masturbating?
You don't get that sense, but you can roll an insight check if you want to be sure.
Do it, Hugo. I mean, Kaiser.
Okay. With a 7, there is no way for you to be sure that he's not masturbating down there.
Okay.
Guys, I'm pretty sure the barman is masturbating.
Okay. I cast Mage Hand.
Stop using all your spells. How many have you got?
Technically, they're cantrips, so you can use them as much as you want.
Okay.
So I cast Mage Hand. I use it to pick up a glass from the bar, and I smash it behind the bartender.
We'll deal with that in just 1 second. Monty, did you want to do something at the same time?
That's okay. No, I'm okay now.
Okay. As the glass smashes, the bartender turns around and raises this like wooden club that was clearly he was holding underneath the bar, and he says, "Who did that? Who was it? Was it you guys?"
We're
And he
just
looks
like
over.
looking around, like really, like looking like straight up and whistling and stuff.
Okay, and he sort of go on.
I was going to say, no, it wasn't I, and do a deception check.
Well, I don't think you necessarily need to. Let's see, because I'm gonna roll an insight check to see where he. Because to be honest, he probably didn't notice this semi-translucent mage hand moving, so it'd be pretty hard to prove that it was one of you guys. So let's see how perceptive he is.
Barman's
Okay.
having a bad day.
With a 13, to be honest, he's got no reason to. So he looks over to you and he says, "Well, yeah, you best be finishing your drinks. None of this funny business was happening before you came in here." And he sort of puts the club back and starts like scooping up the shards of glass.
Yeah, Joseph stands up on the chair so that he's above the table.
Okay.
Necks his whole pint, because he got a full-size human pint of ale,
Nice.
and then says, "Let's go check out that noise."
Before we do that, can I grab the money off the table? I don't think we need to buy things.
The money that
The 3 copper.
Yeah.
well, no,
And so we don't. Oh, the other guy.
Yeah, the money that the guy that Fraz intimidated left on the table.
He only left 1 copper because he was only drinking 1 drink. But you can make a sleight of hand check to see if you can like whisk it away.
It's totally worth it.
Never.
Sleight of hand. Which one is it?
Sleight of hand.
It's in the list of skills.
Oh, I see. There we are.
He's
Is
cleaning, so hopefully he's. Oh, that's good.
With an 8, the bartender sees you very clearly and he says, "Hey!" And he lifts up his club again and says, he points it towards you and says, "Leave that. That's mine. And you best be leaving now."
Give the man his copper.
This fucking guy. All right, let's go. Come on. So I guess we all kind of slightly, having just necked our drinks, a tiny little bit tipsy, or just walk out sheepishly.
I kick my chair over as I leave.
You see the bartender sort of shake his head and like mutter something to himself, and you guys leave the tavern.
Yeah, and we go next door. So can I, once we're outside, can I roll a perception, see if I can still hear that sound?
Absolutely, make a perception check.
Never sound.
Oh no, there you go. I thought it was an 8 again.
Oh wow, 16. Okay, with a 16, you.
Or
yeah,
if I noticed anything weird in the street or anything like that.
The street still kind of looks much as it was beforehand, but you do hear like slightly fainter version because you're slightly further away from the back of that store now. Of that thudding, you can sort of feel it in the ground with your ranger senses.
Okay, so it's it was at the back of the inn.
No,
So
the shop. The shop.
The shop, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's try and find a way around the back. So we head to the side of the shop and peer down the alley, see if we see anything.
Okay. You see a regular alleyway. It doesn't look like there's any doorways to speak of. You can make an investigation check if you want to be certain.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, with a 5, you look around the alley and you get the sense that this is a pretty standard dusty alley. You don't notice anything that would lead you to believe that it has a back entrance. It's more of like it seems like they're, what's the thing, semi-detached, like they share a wall kind of thing, so they're pretty, it's not really designed to be entered that way.
Okay, do you reckon I could scale that wall if I wanted to and try and hop around the back or something? Or would that draw too much attention?
Well, it's if you roll well, you could do it successfully, you do it stealthily. It all really depends on how good your acrobatics or athletics or stealth is.
Okay, so I turn to the group and I'm just like, Faz is back. So I turn to the group and just say, yeah, there's this weird sound coming from the back. If we want to follow it up, I could try and hop that wall. You guys head in the shop. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That sounds good. You could head him up from the back.
Yeah, all right. So we haven't really talked about where my panther is at this point.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing it's been sort of loitering in a nearby sort of little green area or something. And at this point, I sort of maybe do a little whistle or something and let it know that I want to meet it around the back of this shop.
Okay, cool. I'll say that you guys have that sort of language established, so he follows you and you can head around to the back of the store. So you're gonna just walk? Is that the idea?
I guess I could just walk around. But no, I think Josa would want to impress his relatively new friends, and so tries an acrobatics check a athletics check to hop the wall.
Okay, cool. Give us an athletics check. And while this is happening, are the rest of you going around to the front of the shop? Is that what I understood?
Yeah.
I think so.
And
I
Zenora?
mean, it's not like we can pass.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you guys, look at that shit.
Wow, natural with a natural
Nat
20. What happens is there's a little like low fence at the back of this alleyway that sort of separates alley from the back of the building, and there's the wall, and you basically see Joseph like wall run parkour off of the wall on top of the fence and then like backflip onto the other side.
Yeah, I say, why walk when you can wall? And then perform a really, really impressive feat of parkour, and yeah, why not?
Okay, as you're landing your perfect backflip wall run, your panther sort of hops over gracefully with you, and what you find is a stone wall. So the back of this building appears to just be wall, and despite your amazing feat of acrobatics,
I'm now just round the back of the shop. I kind of look back over the wall and just kind of go, yeah, shit. Well, they can't see that, and I start sort of looking around and coming around the other way to join them. Oh no, I know. I'll keep going around the building, see if there's any other entrances or exits.
Okay, so you're going to go around.
A small man would absolutely destroy.
The what?
In my culture, this small man would absolutely destroy the females.
In your culture, acrobatics and parkour are valued highly.
Yes.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, the rest of you go in the front door, and as you go through the door, I'll cut back to Josa in a second, don't let me forget. As you go through the front door, you see that old man sort of walking away from the counter of this shop where the proprietor is standing, and he's holding a little like pouch of gold, and he's smiling to himself going, "Hey guys, I've got some ale money here. I'm going to be next door. See you there." And he does little finger guns, and suddenly this old kind of like paunchy, somewhat old man starts to look like 20 years younger, and he skips basically out of the shop. And the rest of what you see is kind of a very, it feels like a magic shop almost. All the items are sort of, some of them are in glass, some of them have giant warning labels on them, don't touch, hand might be removed, this sort of a thing. And there's lots of scrolls, like a whole wall filled with just paper scrolls all lined up like this. And we'll get your reactions in a second. Joseph, you continue around the side of the building, and you don't see any other entrances, which is kind of strange to you because, most buildings tend to have windows, exterior doors. You even notice that the tavern next door has a back entrance. It's got a window. It seems like this shop is unusual in how walled in it is with stone. Like not even daub, wood, just stone. It's built like a small castle.
Can I check to see if I can still hear that sound or sense that sound?
Yeah, you hear it every now and then. Now that you're tuned into it, you hear it every sort of like minute or so.
Okay. And does it feel like it's coming from a certain direction, or can I work out where it's coming from?
Yeah, I mean, range of senses for sure. You get the sense that it's at the rear of this secret scroll store, and it's coming to you dimly through the stone walls and through the ground.
Okay. In that case, I pat Dave and I say, "Yeah, attaboy. Wait here. I'm gonna just head inside the shop. Nothing to see here." And she sort of slinks off to a nearby hedge, and I'll walk around and join the others in the shop.
Okay, cool. You join, and you hear Joseph walking in behind you, and then you see that sight of a kind of like obscure items everywhere. Some of them are very spread out on the shelf. Some of them are, little vials with little cork stoppers in them. Let me just bring up my notes so that I can be more specific.
It's very trusting of this shop owner to leave all of these items lying about, isn't it?
You say this out loud?
Isn't that cute?
Do you say this out loud?
Sure.
He says, well, I have ways of dealing with thieves, young man. I mean, young Furbolg, I want to say?
That is correct. Well done. How about that fellow who just left? He seemed very happy. What did he sell you?
Well, he sold me a number of useful items, but I haven't sorted them yet. Those are in the back room. I'm going to have to get to that in a second. And just as he finishes the sentence, you hear like a thump coming from the back room. It sort of makes the wooden floorboards like vibrate a little bit. And he says, don't worry about that. I've got a lot of sacks of books in there. They're constantly falling down. I should really get more organized.
Mm-hmm.
I whisper to Jowser, let's distract him while you sneak into the back room to find out the source of this humming.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good.
Yep. I can always intimidate him if not.
So I obviously I know I entered the shop and the door made a very loud sound, so that he knows that there's another person in. But because I'm a halfling, I sort of I give him a little nod of the eye and pretend I'm not with the others.
Okay.
When I joined the group, when I joined in, and then I then sort of took a different direction and disappeared behind a stack of bottles or something, and then I'm just out of sight anyway.
I mean, if this fellow deals in maybe some strange fudding things, maybe he likes animals and livestock. I hear bear shows are a form of entertainment. I could do a little dance in the corner to distract him.
Yeah, cool.
Use your
Animal.
Is that what you
Bear
intend to
shows are all the
do?
rage.
Okay, if you're intending to do a little bear dance in the corner, then you're going to need to roll a performance check, and it's going to need to be damn good.
Can anyone assist him? Can you assist roles in this game?
You can, but you would need to describe
Explain
how
why.
you're helping him.
So what if the rest of you form a circle and start clapping?
Sure thing.
Mm.
The performance that we have to do.
Okay. In that case, you can all just clap in a circle like it's a wedding or something like that. But the way you would help is that you give Monty advantage, so you can roll again.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Okay. With a 14, you you get sort of polite interest from the proprietor, and he says, is this from your culture, this dance? And he sort of like looks around as though, what should I say here in this situation?
That feels like he's wrapped up in it enough for Joseph to sneak through.
Yeah. Does that give me any kind of advantage on a stealth roll?
Okay,
is that not good enough?
Because he's distracted, I'll say that would. But because he's distracted, that gives you the.
You might need to draw him out of his out from behind there, because I'm trying to get to the back, aren't I?
I'm enjoying the bear dance, so I'll say make a stealth check with advantage, so you get to roll twice.
Okay.
Wow.
Goodness
Right.
gracious! All right, roll again. Oh, okay. With the 22, you managed to sort of go from shelf to low table to shelf and start to like edge your way around the back of the counter, so far unseen. And you think you're doing pretty well, but you've got to do the more difficult stretch now, which is getting literally behind him within a few feet and to the door that leads to the back room. So to do that last little stretch, you'll need to make another stealth check. Is there anything about performance that's going to change during this time?
Yes. I lie to the shopkeeper and I say, "Come, my good man. Bears dance more prolifically when you clap louder and closer."
I'm going to cast light on myself, and I'm going to start radiating a green hue.
That is, you have the light cantrip and you can just touch something and it
I
is...
do indeed.
Okay,
I touch myself.
Okay, this is pretty funny. I'm going to need a persuasion check. Well, actually, no, it's more well, I'm going to say persuasion because it's not strictly lying. Maybe that would make a better performance better. So, Zenarai, could you give me a persuasion check, please? To see how good this helps. How well this helps. Okay, with a 7. Okay. I'm going to say that the proprietor sort of looks to Zenarai, sort of looks you up and down, and doesn't sort of like look at you quite as judgmentally as the regular folk. You get the sense that this guy's seen some shit, and a tiefling is not that unusual in his line of work. But he looks at you as though, and he says, "I'm good here, thank you, though." But he looks at the light and he thinks, "Oh, good. I mean, this is nice. If you buy something, I mean, I could watch as many bear dances as you want." Okay, so that's the current state of that. So I'll say it's not quite good enough for advantage, but you can add... I'll say you can add 2 to your stealth check, Josa. So give me another stealth check, but it's no longer with advantage, it's just a regular roll. Oh, okay. So that's your regular roll, so that makes it an 18, 19. Yeah, I'll say with a 19, you get to the door to this back room. No one has seen you, soundingly. Being a stealthy halfling has clearly helped with that. So you're at the door. What do you do now?
Yeah, I want to sort of see if I want a perception, see if I can see anything strange about this room now that he's distracted and I've sort of got a new vantage point.
Well, you're still in the main room that everyone is in.
Oh, right.
You haven't actually gone through this door yet. Do you intend to attempt to go through it?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a keyhole to look through?
There's a keyhole.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a little peek.
Okay. In that case, give me a perception check just for fun. Because, I mean, that's the name of the game, really, fun. Okay, with an 11, you see wood, you see some crowded shelves with junk, seemingly, on them, and you see, like, a leg, a very hairy, furry leg just sort of glance in front of your vision, and you're not really sure what to make of that, but it's quite a big leg, and that's all you know.
Okay. So, what do I do? I mean, at the moment, this is literally just curiosity, isn't it? We've got no reason to think that there's anything going on, like, bad or that could benefit us in any way.
Clearly, we should try and stop.
What's here?
There's an animal around there, clearly, if there's a furry furry leg, was it that you saw?
Leg, yes.
Yeah, but it's in a back room, isn't it?
Don't be so cold-hearted. You have a panther for a pet.
Yeah, okay.
Seems like a brethren of mine.
Yeah, but I mean, I like this. This guy seems pretty chilling. But yeah, okay. Let's.
I
kind
can
of
try
think-
and intimidate the guy into paying attention or joining the dance.
No, I mean, I've like absolutely bossed my way with stealth check so far, so I reckon he has no idea I'm here. So, yeah, I'll be like, fuck it, I've got nothing else going on. If nothing else, maybe we can try and find some of the wares that guy dropped off and take something nice.
I have a last resort. If the back door is unlocked, I can cause it to fly open with thaumaturgy.
Okay, so who
Yeah, well,
wants
but then-
to... who wants to do
So
what?
I think I'm gonna check the door. So I'm gonna slyly just try the handle, see if I can just sneak in.
Okay, you give it a little quiet test, and it does appear to be locked.
Okay.
Do you have? I get the sense that you're trying to get in the room. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you, Josa, have thieves' tools in your equipment,
No.
or anything in your equipment that resembles thieves' tools, like a piece of wire or some lint?
I've got a hunting trap that I could try and like twist off a bit of
Okay.
like
I'll
maybe
say.
some of the mechanism or something.
I'll say. Okay. No, wait. Just before we get to that.
Meanwhile, this shit hot bear dance is like,
That's what I'm doing.
drawing everyone's attention.
I'm gonna come back
You
and I'm
guys
gonna
just clapping
say.
louder and louder.
Okay, you can either give me another performance check to see if this is gonna still even moderately hold his attention that you might buy something, or you can give me a Constitution check to see if you have the physical stamina to dance for this long.
Well, firstly, I'm going to touch myself and turn the light purple.
Okay, solid.
Just as the shopkeeper's sort of like looking away, like I've seen this before, like suddenly you turn purple. He's like, "Whoa!"
You're like an RGB gaming accessory.
Yes. So would you say Constitution or
Performance. It's up to you which one.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait, is that last one? That was the last one.
No,
That wasn't. That was it. The last one was a 7. I knew it was shit.
Yeah. Okay. With an 8, you see that he is no longer sort of paying attention to you and goes, "Okay, I get the sense that this is some sort of busking routine, and if that's the case, please take it outside." And he starts to like shuffle the papers on his desk around a little bit, and you get the sense that he's going to see Josa at any minute. Does anyone do anything?
Sir, we're not busking. We actually have money ourselves. We'd like to buy something from you. Can you show us your way?
Oh, you see him lean forward and he says, "Oh, you want to buy
Why didn't we think of
something?"
that before?
Oh.
We're going to spend Galahad money for him.
I have arrows, breastplates, scrolls, dulcimers, some holy water, and he sort of winks at you because you look vaguely holy.
I'm kind of from behind him. Joseph's kind of like using his hands to symbolize like arrows. Like, get some arrows for me.
Now, when you say symbolize arrows, does it look like this?
Yeah, I'm doing like a bow thing, but like pointing at the arrow, like not the bow.
Gotcha.
Like, bow, not that. Arrow, yes, thumbs up. And then I'm like counting on my hand, like 5.
Fine, we can get 5 hours.
Yeah, and he says,
5 arrows. How
"Oh,
much
you
are 5 arrows, good friend?
okay?
I'd
Well,
like to spend my friend Abelardo's money here.
for 5 arrows, that'll run you 1 silver piece."
I kind of, you look over to me, I'm kind of like looking down, thinking about it. Like 6 arrows, 1 silver piece.
This is what you communicate. All right, no wait, this is getting too complex. Joseph, if you want to try and like hand signal this, you're gonna need to do a performance check. Because
Not good at that.
that is a highly complex little story you're trying to convey.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. With a 13, I assume you're talking to Monty. With a 13, Monty, you think that he wants 64 arrows.
That's absolutely ridiculous. And it's your money.
Yeah, no, I'm not paying for.
It's your money and I'm outraged. Okay.
What do you say?
I just kind of do that kind of motion. I pass it off as a sneeze in front of the shopkeeper, but it's clearly a no.
Okay.
I kind of Joe says kind of shrugs and maybe tries to lockpick this door.
Okay, well, because you've only got a little bit of wire from your bear trap, this is going to be with disadvantage. But do you have any proficiency with any tools? Like, look in your bottom left of your character sheet. What are your tool proficiencies?
I'm quite proficient with a flute.
But no other tools of any kind, like for example
I could bust this door open with a flute.
You have sometimes people have proficiency with a jeweler's kit or an alchemy kit or a smith's tools. Okay, in that case, this is going to be a tricky check. You're going to do a dexterity check with disadvantage. So what's your dexterity modifier?
+4.
+4. Okay, so that means you're going to roll twice with the +4, and you're going to take the lower of the two rolls.
Okay, well, just roll a d20. How do I do that?
Sorry. If you go to your
hit dexterity and then it'll be on 20. Okay.
Holy shit! All right, but roll again. Luckily, this is a disadvantage. Holy crap! Okay. With a 12, I'll say this door is not particularly well secured. You get the sense that you've put this little piece of wire inside, and you hear it click, and you think, "Oh, this is going pretty well." And then you hear this little alarm come from nowhere, going like, "Ew, ew, ew, ew." And the guy turns around and he says, "Oh, come on, please, just stand up, get over there." And he sort of ushers you over to the other side of the counter.
I am standing up, I'm a halfling.
Okay. He ushers you to the other side of the counter and he says, "Okay, all right, listen, this is a magic store. Do you really think that I would just leave the task of securing my back room up to a simple lock? Oh, goodness me. Okay, all right, I'll level with you. Yes, the back room is making a lot of noise. Yes, my explanation of it wasn't particularly good. I need favor, all right? I will... okay, what should I do?" And he makes a check here. He's going to make an intelligence check. And he says, "Listen, I'll let you keep something, whatever you want, one thing from the back room if you can deal with the little situation I've got going on in there. What do you say? No need for stealing, no need for sneaking around. Honestly, is that even a lockpick? It looks like a piece of twine."
Kind of just put it back in my pocket and don't say anything.
I say...
He hasn't told you yet. Sorry, what does Zenrai say?
I say if you want us to leave with your shop still intact and not a burning husk, then we'll take 3 things for dealing with your problem.
Okay, are you trying to, that sounds like intimidation. Okay, give me an intimidation check.
Oh man, you suck at rolling.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, I suck. Might as well.
13's not terrible.
Okay, with a 13, I'll say he's going to roll an insight check just to see if you're for real or not. Okay, he goes, "Okay, listen, I have to repeat this. I own a magic store. This is not my first rodeo, okay? The stuff back there is good shit. Some of it my friend just brought in. You can take one thing with you, okay? It's not difficult to deal with. You'll see when you get back there. Okay, you just gotta. It's a creature, all right, and it's making a lot of shit back there, and I don't want to deal with it myself. Everybody roll. Sorry, go on, Nate.
I can talk to animals, so that might be useful.
Oh, and he says, you're not saying this out loud, though.
Whisper to us, maybe?
Yeah, whisper to you guys,
okay.
just because they don't know they know.
Everybody roll an insight check. Whoa, is that a natural one? Okay. I'll say, Josa, you get the sense that he doesn't want to deal with the creature in his back room himself. sort of like an irrational reason. He's got this weird look in his eye, and the closest thing you can describe it as is kind of like superstition. You get the sense that he probably could deal with it, but he's kind of superstitious about it, and sort of like he keeps touching like the wood of his counter in a sort of like for luck kind of way. And he says, "So, what do you say? You're going to deal with it for me?
What do you mean deal with it? You want us to kill it?
Anything you need to do to just have it not be there anymore."
We can talk to
We
it.
can try that.
Yeah. It's working, guys.
Okay. And then he waved his hand in a sort of dismissive way to sort of dismiss you into the back room. And it also makes the door go click, and it opens just the tiniest amount, like 2 inches. Now quickly,
I'll go first.
go quickly. We don't want to let it out. Hurry. Okay, so you guys head in.
Who goes first?
I'll go first, given that I'm the biggest one and I have the spell.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you all going in single file, or is it just Abe and then the rest of you are hanging back?
I think that might be safe. Or you can
I
come
hang
in
back.
as well, but
I'll come in as well because I'm bear.
yeah, fair.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's-
okay, I'll slip in. I'll slip in too. So
Okay,
like, cautiously.
Zenarai, are you sort of like standing in the threshold or something?
Yeah, I'm going to hang back in the entrance to the door, ready to throw some sick druidic spells.
Okay, cool. I will say, just give me a second, and I will move us in just a moment. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm gonna put Abe here. Excuse me.
I had a quick question while I was
Hit me.
away.
Hit me.
So I have a ritual spell to summon.
Summon.
Sorry.
Oh, that's right. Welcome back. Ash has gone to go for a piss, I think. Sorry, Fraser, what's that?
So I've got a spell, Find Familiar, which is a ritual to summon a familiar.
Mhm.
And it says the cost is I've got to have 10 GP worth of stuff. Do I have to buy that stuff before I leave, or do I lose the money when I cast?
Okay, because the components have a gold piece value, you do need to buy them in order to cast the spell. And when you cast the spell or the ritual, the spell like consumes those components.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, familiars are like a whole thing. I'm surprised that warlocks have access to that spell. It's usually like
Yes,
a wizard thing.
Yeah, it was one of the boons from Sylvanas.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Got some sweet hybrid classes going on, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have Abe here as well?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. Okay, so Abe and Monty go through the door first. Ah, that's right. Hey. And I'm just going to show you here. And what you see is an enormous, like, it's a giant elk. There's no other word for it. It is...
Kill it!
okay, you shout kill it. That happens. And it's just like put in perspective for how big this thing is. It is like pretty much 10 feet tall, and it's like barely fitting its body into this back room. And all across these tables, there is just like miscellaneous arcane-looking knickknacks and scrolls and things. And in the middle of the room, you see this grey bag just lying open in the middle of the floor. And from your vantage point, it looks to have like fuzzy fabric balls inside of it. And you see the elk sort of standing there. And I'm going to get Monty and Abe to give me a religion check, please.
Religion check.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, it's not going to be better.
Okay.
2 ones in a row.
Okay. With a 1, you think to yourself, this giant elk seems bigger than a normal one. And and Abe, you with a 9, you get the sense that this can't be a normal elk, and maybe there's something a bit special about it, but you don't remember enough to actually put it together.
Okay, can I try and talk to it then?
Sure. What do you do to try and do that?
I use speak with animals, which is one of my paladin thingies.
Cool. Can you click it? Oh, here we go. You get the ability to comprehend, verbally communicate with beasts. It's a level 1 spell. Okay. So, Mark, did you press that button as though you cast it?
But I don't think it did the roll.
That's okay.
Roll.
I did it.
But if you go to your spells tab and have a look at your spell slots, did it actually tick off one of your spell slots?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's awesome! I can't believe it did that automatically. Cool. So you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence. Beasts can give you information about nearby locations. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you. Okay, cool. Let me have a look at the intelligence score of this giant creature. Okay, you get a sense that it's saying, many small beasts. What? And you get the sense that he or she has just registered your presence and is confused and wondering what they're going to do about it. Do you say anything?
Ask it what it is or who he is, or he, she is.
Okay. You get a response back from him and says, "Oh, the small one talks. I am he. I am me." And you get the sense that he has no concept of identity beyond that.
Cool.
You can ask it what it's seen in the last day.
What it's?
What is it perceived in the last day?
Okay, let's ask it that then. What it has seen or what it has happened to it in the last day.
He says, there was nothing. There was blackness. And then I was here in this small space. I tried to eat this, and points its hoof and sort of stamps its hoof at the bookshelf, and you can see all these chew mucks in the bookshelf. This bad. I need food. I need water. Do you have these?
Do we have water?
Yes, you have rations, you have a water skin, that sort of thing.
In equipment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rations.
Yeah. So you do. Do you do anything with it?
Yeah, I do.
Who are the others? Who are your other small ones?
Sorry.
Yeah, you go, sorry.
I was just going to say, obviously, Josa is a beastmaster with animal handling as well, so I could try and, I don't know, calm it down or something. If you want to ask it, what does it want? Does it want to...
Yeah, let's ask him what he wants.
He says, food, water, get out of this small room. How do I leave?
Okay, so I will give it food and water.
Okay. You lay down your rations and your water skin on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Elk sort of go up to it and sniffs it a couple of times and then just eats the rations in the leather container that they were in, without opening them, and starts to lick the water skin, but can't get it because it's a bottle. It says, this not water. This bleh. Bleh.
Okay, so let's open the water for him and put it in some sort of what's the word? Vase or whatever.
Yeah, like a bowl.
Container.
Okay.
Can I see any kind of container around?
I'll say you have a bowl with you in your camping gear for eating campsite meals. So you put water in the bowl and you see its enormous tongue, this big, comes out and licks up the water in the bowl in two licks and goes, yes, better. How do I go out of this place?
Okay, so now I'll just tell Joseph, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph what it wants, that it actually wants to get out.
Okay.
Since he's the master.
Well, so I already know, obviously, there aren't any other doors or exits, so I can just say, okay, I can take it to the woods if you need. And sort of start approaching the beast, in a calming way, my hands out and making nice shushing noises and sort of letting it know that I'm going to take it with it.
Okay, I will say, based on the fact that you just walked through this doorway, you would be pretty confident that the doorway is too small for a 10-foot elk to go through, but we'll deal with that in a second. You can make an animal handling check to see how well you soothe it as you approach it.
Okay, I've got advantage on this as well.
Yeah, you probably do, but why is it that you have advantage?
It's a proficiency. Oh, sorry, not advantage. It's a proficiency.
Oh, gotcha.
Is that... No, yeah. So I've only got a 12.
Yeah, so because it would have already done the calculation for you. Plus wisdom. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I'm gonna get it to do an insight check. Okay. With a 4, it's sort of it doesn't run away from you, but it sort of snorts at you and says, "You smaller beast. What? Where? Go, leave." And you just get these sort of like verbs coming at your consciousness.
Okay, I'm gonna. I then like look at the elk, and then look back at the door, and then look at the elk, and then look back at the door.
Like a cartoon.
And slowly realise that it's clearly not getting through that door with its massive antlers and 10-foot size.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and work out if there's anything else in the room that could. Well, also, like, how did they get in this room, right? So, I'm gonna. Can I do a perception? See if I can see anything that could give me any clues.
Sorry.
Examine the summoning circle.
Sorry, say that again. What was that?
Me.
Yeah, what would you say?
I'm saying it looks like there's a summoning circle on the floor of the room.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, you, Zenarai, can make an Arcana check on the little, like, inscriptions in the floorboards. Hugo's character, Joseph, can make a perception check to see if you can determine how the elk got here. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, actually, no, I'll say make it an investigation check because you're sort of, like, looking around and, like, doing stuff. So we do an investigation check instead. Oh, wow, you both got natural ones, but obviously the perception doesn't count. Okay, with a... Wow. Okay. So what happens is Zenarai, in order to do the check, you'd have to like walk further in the room to go over to it. Is that okay? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Cool. I'm back.
Okay, cool. So I was saying, in order to check out this theoretical, maybe something, can you see your little icons? Maybe I should move that. Is that working? Wait 1 second.
No, we can't see ours.
Yeah, hold on. I did all the because it's got different layers. There we go.
Oh, I messed up.
What?
Oh, I thought that was me. Oof. That's
No,
great.
it's all good. It's all good. Sorry, I just forgot to put these on a layer that you could actually see.
You just clicked in exactly the space where the character appeared.
Nice. You guys are like magic. Okay, so Abe and Monty in the front here, and then we've got Joser in the back here, and Zenarai. In order to inspect the summoning circle or what you think it to be, you've got to walk up to this place. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
With a natural one, you lean down and you get the sense that this just looks like pretty elaborate carvings in the floorboards, but as you lean forward, you overbalance and then fall on your head on the ground. And I will say, Josa, as you were trying to soothe the creature, you came over to sort of this region, and you're making an investigation check. And in the process of your investigation check, you kind of walk around and start looking at stuff. And what you do is you pick up the nearest item, and I'm going to need you to roll a d8 for me. So the way you do that is you go to the little bar on the left, like the photo shop bar, and then you hover over the dice and select d8 on the left. Okay, with the 2, what happens is you pick up this thing. It just looks like some rocks that were on this table here, and just as you pick them up, you notice them start to like flicker in and out of existence, and then suddenly all the objects on all the tables suddenly like flicker and change position in like a split second, and you end up holding a healing potion. It's just a regular healing potion, and you think to yourself, that was a bit strange, and now you're holding a healing potion.
Okay, yeah, stick it in a side pocket and think nothing of it because my investigation was a natural one, so I have no idea what's going on.
Okay, cool. So you can either make a note on a piece of paper or add to your equipment list. You have a healing potion now.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Who wants to do something?
I pick myself up from the floor in a fit of rage.
Okay.
I scream, and my hands begin to fill with flame.
You scream, and your hands are on fire for any particular reason?
I'm about to cast a spell at the elk.
Okay. What's the spell? What's the spell going to be?
Well, I'm waiting for the party to jump in and stop me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to try and calm the elk as well.
I'm going to cast Calm Emotions
Okay.
in a 60-foot dome. So imagine
That's so cool. Okay, so click that spell. I want to read deets. Oh, wow. 60 foot. Oh, no, that's 60 foot range. Although I don't know what
20-foot radius.
Oh, is that what that 20 foot radius means? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
20 foot radius. Okay.
20-foot radius.
So
Yeah.
you want to see something cool? I can show you which point do you choose to cast it at. So I'll say
I'll actually cast it as Zenerai at the epicenter.
okay with Zenerai at the epicenter.
That might make it stronger.
I will say just let me do a cool thing here.
Since I believe it says humanoid, so
Actually,
Would it not make more sense to cast it between us, so you get the elk and me?
well, it says humanoid. That's the only reason I haven't done it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Humanoid?
So basically, I'll say within a range charisma saving throw. Okay, so Zenerai and Josa and Abe, all of you, please make a charisma saving throw.
So I just click my charisma at the top of the character sheet.
No, you choose the charisma saving throw that's at the top left. It's got like a separate box for saving throws.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Sweet. Ooh.
Goes there now, right? Yeah.
Okay. Also, you can. I will say that with a 25, you if a creature fails a saving throw, you can suppress the effect. Oh yeah, so I'll say you save. You feel like your emotions were about to be calmed, and then they weren't. Josa, you feel incredibly calm, and the fact that all this stuff changed places when you picked up the item doesn't bother you at all. You're just feeling really zen, man.
Yeah, I'm not. It's quite hard to flap me.
And Abe, you feel again very chill, very zen, and you're not as worried about the elk as you were before. You think we'll figure this out. Everything will be fine.
Well, that's great, but neither of you were the problem.
Okay, so Zenerai, I'll say because you weren't successfully calmed, you can cast whatever it was you were going to cast.
Okay. So I cast Eldritch Blast for the elk.
Oh, also, just before, I should clarify that because this is calm emotions, you can choose to fail the saving throw if you want to, but I get the sense because you're in a rage, you probably wouldn't want to fail it on purpose.
So I feel the press with emotions, and I turn on my emotions. I turn to Monty and I say, "Was that you, little bear?"
No. I know my presence can be calming to many. I'm soft and fluffy. That's on you, man.
Yes, you are very soft and fluffy.
Okay, so let's say that
I like
distracts you. You feel a little distracted because Monty has suddenly tried to calm you with arcane magic, and you sort of like hesitate, but you're still in that moment of decision whether you either could still be in a rage or you could be distracted. Like, what does your character do?
So he calms down.
Okay, cool. The sort of hesitation was enough.
I didn't have to pull out the dance in the end. Good Zenerai.
Cool. So the elk sort of starts to, I'll say that the food was placed roughly here. So the elk starts to like notice you guys just sort of ignoring it and talking to each other. And it starts to just sort of amble around, nibbling on this table, trying to get more sustenance and like occasionally thumping itself against the wall and trying to get out. And you get the sense that that's causing the noises before.
Right.
Out! Must
Someone going
out.
to check out that fucking bag.
Yeah, someone can check, but I'm really bad at
Not me. I'm the closest by far, but I just say that out loud.
Yeah, well, let's check the grey bag then. But I feel like I should talk to the elk before it gets a bit more uneasy.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so you would like to say something?
Yeah, let's ask if he has any idea how he ended up there. I know he said something about the dark, but if he has any idea how it actually ended up there, where he was before.
He says, I have only been here for short time, too hungry, only 2 hungries worth of time. There was nothing. There was black. There was nothing, and then there was me in a small room, out. And you get the sense
So we have to figure out how to get it out.
Basically in animal elk language, you get the sense that he's only been here for 2 sort of like meals worth of time, like 2 hungries, like that's the only way he has of measuring time. And everything before that was just blackness, and he's only really been himself for a short period of time.
Okay.
Ah.
Does someone want to check the grey bag? Now that it's a bit calmer for a moment.
I checked the grey bag.
Okay.
Perhaps there are some arcane spells in here we can use to kill the elk.
Make an Arcana check on me. Okay, with an 8, you get the sense that this is a standard grey bag in which you might put knitting needles, books, rations. You get the sense that it would carry about 4 pounds worth of miscellany. And you don't
Crystal bag.
you don't understand if it has any arcane properties or not. You hear the voice from the other side of the back room door. Hurry up in there! And then you hear like a click as he like closed the door behind you.
So what are we thinking? If we can't really get anything out of this elk in terms of its cause or its meaning, we don't know what it is. It's probably some kind of mystical elk god, but we don't know
has been
that. So what's the only other ways we can get rid of it? Is just like murdering it, I guess.
Or we can
Yeah,
try
no, I
and
approve of this
check
action.
the circle again to see if we can get it out through there.
Yeah. Okay. So
Can I
what
check?
you think? You think it's going to be some sort of summoning ritual, and we can summon it back?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
If it was in the dark and then suddenly it was there and it doesn't remember anything from before, it kind of implies that there was no before.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do like an investigation check in this room? Because I sucked at mine, but someone else might be able to work something out.
I can check the circle.
Yeah.
Go for it. Make an Arcana check. Let me just check.
Right.
Okay, with a 13, you're trying to check that little circle on the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the sense you're pretty confident that this is just standard, what's the word? Decorative engraving. You don't get the sense that this is part of an enchantment of any kind from this, but you're referring to this like circle of stuff. Just, it's like fancy carving work.
Yeah. Okay. How about any of the scrolls laying around? Do any of them look like they are elk summoning scrolls?
Do you pick one up?
Yes.
Okay, roll a d8 for me.
Okay, so that is. Oh yeah.
3? Okay, with a 3, you pick up this this jug of water that looks to be made of this see-through marble. It feels very cool to the touch, and then suddenly every item in the room flashes and shifts and changes position a bunch of times, and you end up holding a slightly bigger healing potion than the one that Joseph was holding. So you have a potion of greater healing.
Sweet. That's going in my pouch.
Oh wait, so I've got a potion of greater healing because I couldn't find a normal one.
Oh, I mean, in your equipment it wasn't listed?
Yeah, I couldn't remove it.
That's okay. If you can just make a note somewhere that we can remember that in future, then that's fine.
Yeah, sure. Customize names.
Yeah, exactly. Customize would be a great way to do it. Awesome. All right. So you see the elk come up towards Abe as it seems to have taken a shine to Abe, and it's enormous head. It's about 3 or 4 feet long, this head. and it sort of nudges your arm and says, "Out. Need to go out."
Okay, can we try to break the wall or something?
Do you have any spells that would destroy a stone wall?
Let's check. What do I have?
I think the shopkeeper's going to be happy about this.
Smite.
Say that again.
Let's see what it is. Searing
My
Smite.
way
I'm
is-
trying to check what it was. Or maybe I can freeze it, and then it can just try to get use its brute force.
I mean, there's clearly some weird magic shit going on when we pick up stuff in this room. So why don't we just keep doing that until we find something? Because we're getting like free potions at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes, I
good.
agree.
I know I was
Keep
pretty laid back
stuff
about
up.
it, but
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I think the elk would definitely perceive getting frosted as like aggression.
No, I don't mean frost the elk.
the
I mean,
wall.
freeze the wall so they could.
freeze the elk and then smash it.
Freeze the elk. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of a lot of different schemes that you guys are proposing. Who's doing what in what order?
I think should we just investigate objects more?
Yeah, I think Joseph sees that Zenoi also got a potion and is like, 3 potions. Pick something else up.
So Joseph picks something else up?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a d20 for me. Sorry, a d8 for me. Is that... Oh, a 3, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me just consult my notes. Okay, you pick up what looks to be this this ball made of iron, like bands. Imagine like a rubber band ball, but instead of rubber bands, it's made from iron strips, and it feels really heavy in your hand. And then suddenly everything shifts in the room, and you end up holding another potion of greater healing. Except this one is empty. It's just an empty glass bottle that once contained that potion, and you think to yourself, "That's a bit weird."
Yeah, just chuck it over my shoulder and it smashes.
Okay, you see the elk like rears back and goes to attack you, out of like nervousness. So let's see what happens. It's sort of like when a horse rears back with its hooves.
Yeah.
Okay, so the attack is that to hit? I can't really tell. I think it's like I clicked the button, but I don't really sure. Okay, does a 10 hit your armor class?
Was my armor class is 15.
Okay, so it doesn't. You basically see these hooves, these giant hooves come down beside you, and you manage to like dodge out of the way. And Abe, you hear the elk go, "Noise! Attack! Danger!"
Okay. Can I try to explain to the elk that we are trying to help?
Yeah, go for it. You say that, and I'll say make I'll say an animal handling or persuasion check, whichever one you prefer.
That's actually better.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh?
I think he'd already did it.
Oh, your screen's touch, isn't it?
My screen is touch, yes.
Let's just see whether it comes through.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
So which one was it? Persuasion?
Persuasion or animal handling, it's to you.
Oh, yeah.
With an 8, you hear him go,
Oh, wow.
"No, trap! You keep me here!" And basically, you see it charge against this wall, and it starts attacking the wall. So it's going to make a ramming attack.
See how this plays out.
Okay, with the 23, it hits the wall. And now I've just got to do this other bit, but it's not doing it. So that means I'm going to have to do it manually. So that means like, okay, 7, and then I'll add its bonus. So that means it does 11 damage to the wall, which
Awesome.
means that hit points. Okay, so that means 27. All right, cool. Do you see the wall start to crack and splinter? But sorry, not splinter, just crack. But it doesn't look like it's coming down at this point. And the elk looks like it's preparing to ram the wall again. So hold on one second.
Before it does that, can I try and freeze the wall so that it's easier for it?
Yeah, go for it. What spell is that?
That would be one of my special abilities, Breath Weapon Silver.
Okay, so click that, and we'll see it come through. I think I have to make a saving throw, don't I?
Let me check it. There we go. Didn't appear there.
No, it hasn't come through.
Okay, let's do that then. Yes.
Here we go.
There it is.
Oh, okay. So it's a DC 12 Constitution. Oh, look, it comes through with all the information. That's so cool. So it's DC 12. Because it's a wall, it fails its save. And it does 6 damage to it. And I'll say in its frozen state, it definitely is weakened. And then you hear the voice of the owner from behind the door say, "Hey, you meant to stop the elk from destroying my shop, not let do it."
He didn't say that. He said to take care of it.
And you hear like...
Like, yeah, good point.
Shout back to the staff.
Yes.
You hear muttering on the other side and probably like some swear words. And then you see... Did it work? I swear.
Can I, wait, at this point, can I, this is now, we can clearly hear each other through the door. Can Josa shout, "How the hell did it get in here?"
And then you hear him shout back, "The grey bag on the ground."
Cool. Okay, so maybe we should revisit the grey bag.
Yeah, Josa's like, knew it, and then like leans back against the side and doesn't do anything.
You see the elk hits the wall again, and this time basically a couple of stones that form this wall come out completely, and you can see part of the alleyway through this gap, and it looks like one more hit from the elk and it's going through this wall.
Sweet.
Okay, do we want to check the grey bag before he does that?
Yep, I'll check the great bag again.
Okay, you've made an Arcana check on this before, or have you not?
I have. Can I do another one? Or does it...
You can, but it just means like when you do repeated checks on something that you failed, the difficulty goes up slightly, but you can still attempt to do it.
Has anyone, have either of you two got good Arcana?
Yeah, I could give it a try. I should give it a try.
Yeah, Ash didn't.
Ash has a
Alright,
+4.
Let's
he
have a
should.
go.
Okay, Monty was 16. Okay, I'll say you're pretty familiar with this. This seems like something that you've heard of because it's it's kind of in your wheelhouse as far as arcane magic goes. This
Damn right.
is called a bag of tricks. What you do is the user of the bag reaches in and removes one of the sort of fuzzy fabric objects and throws them out in front of themselves, and then a random creature will just come to life in that space. And it will sort of take direction from you as though it was an ally for the period of time that it is summoned.
Sweet. Can I investigate further to see whether things can go back into the bag in any way?
Okay, with your check of 16, you would know that no, that is not how the bag necessarily works. However, whoever is the user of the bag can choose to dismiss the creature, but you get the sense that you are not the user of the bag.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll definitely pick the bag up for now.
Okay, you pick it up. It's called a bag of tricks. Let me just show you a little icon for it. Show to players. Show to everyone. It's not kind of show. There you go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I've found it.
Nice. As in, it suddenly appeared on your screen, or?
I've added it manually into my equipment.
Okay, sweet, nice.
Found the link for it. Okay, and 3 charges, is that correct?
Let me have a look. Sorry, I just had it up. I gotta get it
You
again.
can summon a proper little army of animals now.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, yeah.
That's cool.
This is cool.
That's
Yeah.
food for Dave.
It should explain all the like how it works in the item.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's awesome.
So now we know that this is a summoned elk. Do we still feel so passionately about saving it? Because although I'm a beastmaster, I'm not the most animal-friendly beastmaster.
I am.
I wouldn't mind just gutting it.
Okay, so while you guys were examining the bag, the
Let's let it
elk,
run free.
the elk is going to attack the wall, but this time it sort of like chips one of its antlers off, and you hear it like whine in pain and sort of start to like walk more tentatively towards the wall. But it seems it's still resolved to get out of here, but it's failed its latest attempt.
Can I attack the wall?
Yeah, it's weakened. So what were you going to attack it with?
What is it that I have? I have a maze or something of the kind.
Can
What,
I,
sorry?
while this is happening, can I try and pick something else up?
Yeah, go for it. Do you pick up any random thing?
Yeah. Well,
I don't
yeah. My perception was shit, so I don't know if there's anything particularly good. But
Okay.
there's
you
like
pick-
some maps on the floor, on the wall, or scrolls and stuff.
Okay, you pick up one of those. Roll a d8 for me.
Okay. It's loading apparently.
Meanwhile, I'm going to use the warhammer on the wall.
Okay, make an attack roll as though you were just hitting something with it.
Did that work?
Yes, your roll is a 16. Okay, and then I'll do Joseph's roll in a sec. Okay, with a 16, you swing your warhammer, but you catch one of the like corners of the stone, and it sparks off of it, and you haven't managed to sort of penetrate the wall's defenses at the moment. But you can take another attack in a sec too. So the number 4 means that you pick up an item, and you pick up this the same sort of decanter of this cool water that Monty picked up. Is that correct? Yeah. And then everything switches and changes in the room, and you end up holding this bag, this leather bag, and make an Arcana check for me, please.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, with a natural
That's what I'm
1, you get the sense that this is just a leather bag of medium size, and you're a little surprised that this arcane store has standard bags in it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll fold it up and tuck it in my pack, and it might be useful to carry some extra shit later.
Okay, cool. Let's just remind me to address the bag later on.
Can I try to dismiss the elk?
Can you what? Sorry.
Try to dismiss the elk.
Oh yes, sure. You can try to dismiss it. Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
So unless we summoned the.
I know, but just trying.
Okay, with an 11, you would know that usually when you dismiss a magical object's creations, it's quite easy. You just use your will to dismiss it. And because that doesn't work, you get the sense that it's not going to work on this creature because you're the one who pulled it out of the bag.
Mm. Okay, can I ask it to, instead of use his, like, ramming straight ahead, use the shoulder to not hurt itself?
You're giving
Okay.
it advice.
You
I'm
give
talking to it, why not?
you give him that advice, and so he gets to roll with advantage because you've given him human dragonborn intelligence to work it out, and he smashes through the wall, and you hear like a boom as all the like stones hit the ground, and you hear the owner say, "Oh my goodness, get out of there! You're the worst assistants I've ever hired. Get out of my store." But you're surprised that he doesn't just come in. Okay, yeah, someone.
Can I say that as the elk smashes through the wall into fresh air and sees its freedom, Dave the Panther pounces on it and attacks it.
I'll say, let's do. Do you have Dave's stats?
He could be a good friend. He could take us places.
He thinks it's some sort of like attack, so he just kills it. Dave's a bit of a dick, by the way.
So click on Dave's like the Panther stat, so you can bring up his like character sheet. Do you have?
Yeah, one sec.
So close.
I'm leaving this group.
It's not me, it's the Panther.
Kill the elk. I'm going solo.
What do I press to kind of push it
To push it
into roll 20?
Oh no, you don't need to push it. You just need to open it.
Oh, okay.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now you're going to make a perception check for the creature. It might be able to push it to roll 20, but you'll probably have to do it manually. So, for example, what's its perception? So perception is based on wisdom. What's its? Oh, there you go. Oh wow, that's a lot of rolls.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll go with the first one. 22. Dave definitely notices that the elk is there, and I'll say if you think that Dave would attack because it's a predator, okay, get Dave to do an attack roll.
Okay.
What is his attacks? Like claw or bite or something?
Yeah, can I say it pounces because it's kind of hunted. If it moves at least 20 feet straight forward, it hits it with a claw attack.
Yeah.
on the same turn, that target must succeed a D. I'll click it.
It's just a strength save. Okay, or something happens.
Oh yeah, sorry. So it must succeed a strength save. Otherwise, it's not prone.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it rolls this plus its modifier.
Oh, so wait a second. So I've got I've got to run 20 feet forward and then hit it with an attack. So I've got to do that.
Oh,
first.
you've got to hit it successfully. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
make
your
your attack
attack.
roll. Okay, you're 22 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That hits. Now it rolls 6 plus its strength modifier. Okay, all right. So you do 3 damage to it. Let me just write that down.
And if you fail its the strength save, it's now knocked prone, and I'm going to make another attack.
Because the panther gets a second attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if I succeed in this.
Okay, so you see out of the newly created window in this stone wall, you see the giant elk running for freedom, and then you see this panther just leap on it out of nowhere. The panther looks like monkey-sized compared to this enormous 10-foot elk, but the momentum that it brought to the pounce means that the elk fell onto its side. It doesn't look badly damaged. It's got a little cut on its hide. And yeah, you can do the rest of your attack, and then it looks like we're going to be in initiative. So yeah, give me your other attack.
Sorry about it. It can make a bite attack. There you go.
Go for it. Okay, with a 10, I think that's because he's prone and it's a melee attack, you get advantage. So roll again. Okay, with a 15, that does hit. So the bite will do. Okay, so you see like a slightly larger cut in its hide, and now everybody needs to roll initiative, and then we'll do this in turns to see what happens.
Can I try and? I'm guessing it's too late to try and stand Dave down.
Well, I suppose it depends. We'll deal with that in a second.
I wanted that to sort of just be his comedic reaction to the situation.
We'll see.
We've all clearly decided to let it escape. So I think now that we're face to face with the panther, I might try and communicate to it to sort of disengage.
Okay.
Hopefully the elk runs away rather than attacks. But I guess we'll see.
We can definitely see what happens. Give me a sec here. It didn't work, so I'm going to roll this into 8. Okay, so in order to do initiative, everybody needs to go to their... you wanted to send the result of this roll to the turn, but no valid token was selected. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. So what you need to do is go to your character sheet and then click on the initiative, and there should be a set to roll 20 thing, probably. This is also good practice for you guys. Okay, cool. So in that case, I'm going to add you to the initiative order. And we're going to do it like this. Can you guys see the little turn tracker that is up on the left there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Can you see us? Because it does say about no valid token.
No, that's there from a previous thing. I can see 3 Monty, Avalado, and Josa. So 19. Then Zenorize hasn't come through yet.
His was it was 4. It was a little bit earlier.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. 4, then I can just type them in for you. Hold on. 8 is 14. And you're right, this probably isn't hugely necessary, but it's just, like I said, practice for you guys to see how it works. Descending. Cool. All right, so the first to react is Josa. So 16, 14. Okay, cool. So you're first to react. What do you do?
I kind of see that my dickhead panther has just attacked this elk that we've tried to set free, and I sort of I want to, if it's possible, in one action to sort of kind of tell the panther to back off. You know, kind of like, hey, whoa, we're letting it go. Just chill out.
Because even though the panther has bonded to you, it's kind of a predator and it's kind of a bit of a dick. So do an animal handling check for me.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. With the 22, you sort of make a series of gestures and grunting commands to Dave, who I'm just going to say is off screen at the moment because I haven't drawn a little icon yet. And you see Dave sort of like snarl at you and then sort of run away back to the foliage that it was in.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. We probably don't need turn order, but Monty, what do you want to do?
So is this guy's looking pretty angry at us, right?
The elk.
Let's have a look.
Who are you talking about?
The elk.
Well, the elk's still on the ground at the moment, so you haven't really had enough time to gauge its feelings.
Okay. I can't talk to animals. Let's have a little look.
What's the situation outside? I mean, has it got a clear path of escape?
You look through the gap, and all you can see is the alleyway. There's no one in the alleyway at the moment, so that's all the information you have. You can use the rest of your turn to move and get a better look if you want.
How far away is it?
Each one of these boxes is 5 feet, so from Monty,
That's
5,
good.
10, 15...
Quite close. Okay.
Yeah, not
I'm going to go
So
up
I say the humans of this city cannot be trusted. They'll destroy the elk. It would be a kindness for us to kill it now.
I'm going to go up and cast Cure Wounds on it.
Oh, okay. So roll whatever you need to roll for that.
Is that a spell slot?
Yeah. Okay, so first one is 9 healing, Disciple of Life.
Why did that come through twice?
That's been happening a few times. I just don't know what Disciple of Life is. Maybe you get to add that. Let me just Google that, because that seems kind of cool.
So I'm a disciple of the Life School of clericism.
Yeah, so maybe that's your modifier. Can you tell me what your wisdom modifier is on your character?
Yeah, wisdom modifier is +3.
Okay, then that's what it is. So you rolled a 9 plus 1d8 plus 3. Oh, no, it's calculating it for you. Okay, so it's 9 in total. All right, so you heal it by 9, and I'm going to try and do some maths. Modification. So that's plus 9? Nice, okay. You see the elk sort of look at you with a sort of grateful expression. Is there anything else you want to do with the turn?
No, that's all good.
Cool. All right. Next up is Abe. What would Abe like to do?
It's at full health now, isn't it?
It appears to be.
9 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to calm down and not be scared. That it was just
Really sorry.
scared at it. Scared. And we are still trying to get it out.
Okay, cool. So
And now I'm going to attack the wall again and see if I can get it out.
Well, it's already the hole in the wall is already big enough for the elk to get through. It's basically already outside the hole, like it's basically gone. So you can still make that statement. So you say that to it, and yeah, go on.
That panther was not with us.
Okay, so Abe, you say this to the elk, and you hear the elk say, "Oh, predators must escape quickly." And is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
Goodbye, elk.
Okay, you say goodbye, elk. All right, with giant elk's turn, it's going to use half of its movement to get up from prone, because that's what is required for any character to get up from prone. And then you see it sprint about 60 feet into the street, and you hear some villagers sort of go, "Ah, a giant elk! Oh my goodness, what's going on?" And that's all you
I
hear.
think that's fine.
And now you're out of combat. Awesome. You successfully
Good job there.
You successfully did nothing while the elk broke itself out of this room.
Excellent.
That was actually a roller coaster.
To be fair,
We saved an elk. It's fine.
you now see the doors burst open, and the proprietor of the establishment goes, "You could not have fucked that up more. Get out! Get out of my shop!"
What about our
Yeah. I feel like we definitely getting this magical item.
Yeah.
I like gesture for Zenowite.
Yeah. I'm casting command on the shop owner.
I don't know if spells are gonna work because he's got magic shit.
No, I mean it's just intimidation.
Okay, so you're going to cast command. Can you put that in the chat for me so we can read the deets?
For what? Sorry.
For command. Okay, so this is Zenorite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay, do you know what your DC is for your spells? It should be in the spells tab. It'll say spell save DC.
13.
13. Okay. And creature must otherwise it can follow it. Okay, cool. So firstly, let's figure out what its save is going to be. Oh, okay, 14. Okay, so
Ooh.
I think it makes it safe. So it feels the command sort of slight to take over it, and then you see his face kind of go red with anger, and he moves his hands around, and you guys all are simultaneously picked up and thrown out of the newly created hole in the stonework. And then you see him yell out of the wall, and don't come back.
Okay.
Cool.
Damn.
What would you guys like to do now?
Fucking wicked
Uh,
power.
I'm gonna say to Zenowite, hey, can you check out this bag I picked up?
Sure.
And just,
Cool.
like, chuck it at you.
So Zenurai has, again, I think made a check on that before. So make another check, and I'm just letting you know it'll be slightly more difficult.
No, this is the other bag that I picked up.
The other bag.
The,
Okay.
the other bag.
In that case, just make a regular Arcana check. Oh, a natural 20. Nice. Nice.
You win the game. It's the bag of winning.
Okay, this is a bag of holding. So it's an arcane bag that can hold way more than the contents of it would lead you to believe.
Sick.
Sweet.
Awesome. Now
I
before
obviously take it back. Hello, I'm back.
hey, there he is.
I've actually been listening for like 2 minutes. I thought you were ignoring me, but I had my mic on mute. Sorry.
Oh.
I was like, so we're doing some D&D, and you just guys carried on.
Just like as soon as you left, we disowned you and you're no longer a part of the group.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I'm
dead.
going to have to run to my front door shortly. But that's going to take all those.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Sorry about that. That's my bad.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, so we were outside of here now.
Okay, so do we want to wait for? I suppose you can go to the door to get your food, and we'll just deal with it then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give me a sec to get my notes back up here, and then I'll describe what it is that happens. What you see out here.
Pretty cool how all the pictures, the images pop up.
Cool. All right. So you're outside the magical shop, the secret scroll, and you notice that the streets are kind of a little bit all a twitter with like people huddled together in little groups pointing at this enormous elk retreating down the main street towards the outskirts, kind of back the way you guys came. From the middle of the field towards Orphea, and they're all sort of, you hear snatches of conversation like, did you see how big that was? That can't be a normal elk. No, it can't be. And that's the sort of stuff that you hear. And I need everybody...
Guys.
Okay, cool. And before I tell you what I'm going to need everybody to do, I might as well get you to roll it now, and I'll give you the result when he comes back. Everybody needs to make a perception check. Ooh.
Hey, it's my first
Sweet.
something good.
Nice.
Yeah, me too. I've rolled terribly so far. Let's go.
And I will tell you what that means when Fraser comes back.
I feel like he's
Can
gonna.
I ask the elf to come with us, by the way? It's something that you can do with this kind of animals.
You could attempt to... Do you mean get it come with you in the sense of, like, be its friend?
Come along, kind of thing, yeah.
I mean, you could have done that when you were speaking to it, but it's now,
No,
like, several hundred feet away.
definitely. No, I didn't mean right now. I was more like, can you do that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly more difficult because you're literally just using its power of speech and communication to interact with it. there's a lot of spells in D&D that allow you to form like magical bond with a creature. So it's kind of like what the ranger has with the panther, but it's not really magical. That's just the ranger is so familiar with the wilderness that they're like peers basically. And then that spell that Fraser mentioned called Find Familiar, that's basically summoning a fey creature from another realm that is magically bonded to you. So there's different ways of doing it, but if you were to speak to the giant elk, it would be just like if you met a random person that wasn't very good at communicating and then tried, it'd be challenging.
I just rolled a perception check.
Okay.
That's what we're all doing.
Cool. So basically, I'll tell you now. So Josa, Monty, and Zenarai, you notice the giant elk sort of receding into the distance, basically to the west, according to this map that is on our screen. And Abe, you get a little. You're a paladin, right, Abe?
Yeah.
You get this weird tickling in the back of your head, like a little bit like the feeling you get when you use your holy powers. Except this tickling is a little bit different, and you feel yourself drawn to the east, and you look east, and beyond the outskirts of the outer ring of Orphea, you see this little wagon, and it's about a few hundred feet out, but it's something more than your eyes that you're seeing it with. You're almost sensing it. And it's this wagon being pulled by figures that you can't really see from this distance. And there's a little flying creature above it, and you get a really bad feeling about it. You just can't... It's like that feeling when someone is looking at the back of your head, and that's what you notice. But you're the only one that notices this.
Okay, so, guys, I think that one over there has something that could be either terrible or very useful to us. The one with the weird bird flying over it? Do you see it?
Well, I don't like getting into any kind of situation that could be, a bit crazy. So I could maybe, look into it for us.
Yes, please.
Would anyone be interested in sussing that out further? I think I can do something.
What could you do?
I like things.
I can gauge whether it may be a good course of action to pursue that wagon or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh,
Sounds cool.
mystical.
It's pretty fucking mystical. Okay, sweet. All right, I am going to conduct an augury.
Oh, how does that work?
An orgy?
Okay, there we cast it. Yes, exactly.
Dark rituals.
By the way, Ash, have you, when you're casting these things, because you've cast a bunch of spells, does your spell tab keep track of your spell slots that have been used? Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, especially marked 6 bones or similar tokens, but at least. Okay, cool. So this is one of those spells that I was talking about to maybe Fraser before. Yes. This one, because it says sticks or bones worth at least 25 gold pieces, this is something that you have to go and get the components for before you can cast this.
Okay, so things like my incense, my censer, my holy water, my...
Well,
those are probably the only things.
Well, basically what you would do is you would go to an arcane store, much like the one you were just thrown out of, and you would say, I need to purchase some bones, some gem-encrusted sticks, because I need them for my spell components. And then he or she would say, I have that in stock, I don't, blah, blah, blah. And then you would pay whatever it costs, and then you would have those components, and then you can cast the spell with those components.
Damn. Okay.
It's
I
because
take it back.
it's because it's a very special spell.
Okay.
I do have, I think it's protection from evil and good, or sense something. There was some. Sorry, let me check because I can't remember.
Divine sense.
I think that is it. Yeah, there it is. This one, right? So I have divine sense that I can detect good and evil.
Okay. Could you put that in the chat for us, and we can do a good old sticky beak at it? Oh, by the way, Hugo, are you still there? Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Because you were on mute before. I thought maybe that had happened again.
No, I'm it.
That's the thing. I'm not sure if it works, but
Okay, divine sense. As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your turn, you can sense anything or another location within 60 feet that's not behind total cover. You can use this. Okay. 3 times. Okay, so mark off one of your uses of it. And because the sense range is within 60 feet, you don't get any sort of particularly holy or particularly evil things in that radius. Does it say how long it lasts for, like duration?
I don't think it does. I think it's just that. Yeah, it's just that it says.
Until the end of your
Yeah.
next turn.
Until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's kind of like a 6-second thing. So yeah, you basically flash this awareness on, and in your immediate 60-foot sort of area, you don't detect anything, but it's a relatively small distance. But
Okay.
it's the kind of thing you would use if you were in like a fairly medium, small-sized room, and there was a lot of like weird-looking, dangerous stuff, and you wanted to get a sense of that stuff. Hugo/Joseph. Oh no, was that Fraser that was talking? Sorry, I
Could we
couldn't.
send Dave to prowl after the cart to scout for?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that what you were going to say?
No. Well, I was just going to say to the group, like, sort of out of context, we're looking for an adventure, aren't we? So are we just going to like follow a lead and just see what the fuck happens? Or do we want to like... But yeah, so all we've seen is that there is just a cart with some weird shit going on. Just want to check it out, see if it's related somehow.
We might be able to help them.
Power and spells and all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, let's help them. That sounds good.
All right.
Help them out of their spells and power.
All right.
That's not helping, but cool.
How far away are they?
It's about a few hundred feet out. Once Abe has drawn your attention to them, you then can like just make them out.
Okay, so should we follow them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we follow them at a pace, let's get a brisk walk on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just go as a group. Just be like, yep, let's go.
Um,
Let's go see what that is. That's pretty
okay,
suspicious.
so you're doing it sort of like quickly, or you're doing it stealthily? Like, are you being normal, or are you being sneaky? Like, give me a sense.
Given that it was different from mine, I would go with stealthy.
But it's 200 feet away, a mile.
Yeah, and they're moving. So I feel like we need to catch up to them.
Barrel after.
Yeah, sure enough.
Okay, so you're all just going as quickly as possible?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You start to close the distance, and all of you please make a perception check.
Sweet.
Holy guacamole. Okay, I will say, wow, how are we gonna deal with that? All right, give me 1 second. that was unexpected.
Yeah.
All right, just give me.
I trust our physical dice more than this Roll20 malarkey on rolls.
Okay, so we got a 13, a 7, a 9, and a 9. Okay, with Joseph with a 13, you start to make out. You start to make out. Let me show you what you make out. Can you see things?
Ooh. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, you start to make out this wagon, and it looks to have something in the back of it. You guys are, off the map at this point. You're seeing this. Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong tool selected. You can see everything. Like none of the map is hidden or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You guys are off the map kind of this way, coming from the north. Well, no, not really. But yeah, the orientation doesn't matter. But my point is that this is what you make out. And there's 3 figures, like one figure here and one here and one sort of flying above it. But with the check of 13, you're not super sure what it is that they are. And Abe, that sense in the back of your head gets stronger of this sort of like uneasiness, and that's what happens. Do you continue at the same breakneck pace? Like, what do you do now?
I think we should maybe slow down and be a bit more stealthy, maybe.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
too am feeling highly uneasy about this situation.
Yeah. Doesn't seem great, does it?
You also can tell that they appear to be moving towards Orphea rather than away.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So are you stealthing? Is that the idea?
So wait, they're moving towards Orphea.
Yes. In the wagon, they seem to
Behind
be.
my bushes?
They seem to be
How
Yeah,
pulling.
we could set up a trap.
I think we should hide and observe them.
Yeah. Let's get in some of that undergrowth.
Okay. They seem to be.
I can't see any like notes or figures on the map, by the way. Just the map itself.
Yeah. That's fine. It's because your check wasn't sufficiently high to make out the figures. So I'm just describing them to you as you can see figures and they're there, but they don't have a specific form yet. Cool. So we're going to do stealth now, and they're pulling it towards the sea. Okay, cool. Make a stealth check, please, everybody.
Cool.
Ooh. I feel like there should be more. Okay, there we go.
Oh, that's terrible.
And Zenarai?
Yep, just doing it as a stealth, yep.
All that.
Oh, I've just realised I when I roll a 1, I get to re-roll because of my race. I haven't done that like 3 times. Oh well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got that on another character, actually. It's quite hard to remember.
Ooh, goes Zanaraya.
Okay, so you basically have some pretty stealthiness going on. I'm just gonna see. Just give me a sec. To bring up my notes. There it is. Okay, so 13's good, 19's good, 21's good. All right. So you guys, can you point? If you click and hold on the map, I think you can create like a little ping for me to look at. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to get you to do with that ping is to tell me where you want to approach from. So basically, you're on this. Imagine the map kept going up, up, and up. That's where you guys are. So do you circle around to the left? Do you come straight line from where you were, or do you come like what do you want to do?
I think we should hide here.
Okay, we need some sort of agreement.
Okay. Yeah, corner sounds good.
Okay, so there.
Is
That's
this,
where you can.
is this like a rocky... Is this higher? This left
Yeah,
hand?
this is about a 5-foot like escarpment.
Okay. And we're down. So maybe here.
Well, you're approaching from way this way, so you could theoretically get up onto this, during an earlier period of the terrain.
Yeah, it's definitely go and get higher ground. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll say you guys approach from here. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So.
I can't see you pinging,
Yeah,
Sam.
I can see your.
Oh, really? What about now?
No.
No.
Oh, that's weird. I might be in the wrong layer. Let me try and do it now. What about now?
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, wow. These layers are powerful. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys... Who wants to be in the front, who wants to be in the middle, and who wants to be at the back of this little group?
I think probably I should be at the front, given that I do have, I think, 20 defense thing.
Okay.
I want to be at the back.
Yes, the ammo class is 20.
So Zenarai wants to be at the back, right?
Well, but this is not necessarily combat, right? We could be approaching to sort of make some conversational check.
Yeah, it's not necessarily combat. I'm just arranging it so that we can see it on the map.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
so...
reconnaissance, that's why we're hiding. We're not attacking.
Yeah.
It's just
So
defense.
generally, Josa would sort of swing round and come from a different direction just to like check the perimeter. So I think maybe he can, be in the bushes around here with Dave.
So can you ping specific area you want to be?
Yeah, like here.
Okay, sweet. I'll say you're there. And Monty?
I'll go at the back of the group, up on the escarpment.
Okay, cool. I'll say you and Zenarai are kind of both bringing up the rear here.
Always.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Now, as you have got closer, you can now make out slightly better. And what you see is kind of a little bit disturbing. It looks like these front two creatures are kind of like they have the upper torso that looks vaguely humanoid. Then their lower half is just like muddy, sludgy, just nothingness. It looks like clay, and it's quite upsetting. And then this other creature here looks like how do I describe it? It looks kind of like if a lizard had the wings of a bat and a trident, and it's covered in. Sorry.
Is that the thing that was overflying the wagon?
Yeah, it's flying over the top basically, and it's quite unsettling. And you get this sense, and as you're making this observation, you also notice that there's a large, like, black rock that looks about 5 feet cubed, and it's got this weird symbol inscribed on the side of it, and it looks like volcanic rock. You can't quite make it out. And as you're making this observation, where am I? Here. Josa steps on a twig quite loudly, and you see these two sludgy-looking creatures seem to continue pulling the wagon unnoticed, but this flying creature moves over to here and starts making a more serious inspection. So I'm going to get you to...
I cast darkness on Josa.
Okay, so can you put darkness in the thingamajig for me, so we can get the deeds? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm just reading a bunch of stuff. Cool. Magical darkness spreads from a point within range. Your range is 60 feet. Yep, that's fine. 15-foot radius sphere for the duration, spreads around corners. Creature with dark vision can't see through the darkness, and non-magical light can't illuminate it. If the point you choose is an object you are holding, or one that is being worn or carried, darkness emanates from the object and moves with it. So do you cast it on like one of his objects, or a tree, or just a point in space?
I cast it on Jazzer himself.
Okay. Completely covering this sphere of darkness with an opaque object, such as a bowl, block the darkness. If any of this spell's area overlaps with an area of light. Okay, sweet. All right, I'll tell you what happens. I'm going to draw this on the thing just so we have an idea of it.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, so that happens, and then the creature suddenly reacts and starts like looking around and searching intently, and it can't see anything, but it's going to make a check. So I'm going to do a little roll for it here. Then I'm going to add its modifier. This will be a subject, so it's a 16, 17. Okay, so it is able to deduce Abe's position on this little rock here. Just let me see if I can bring up your stats. Show nameplate, so I can identify who's who. Show nameplate. And show nameplate. Okay, so and as it sees Abe, it gets a bit taken back and starts to squeak and squawk, and everybody needs to roll initiative. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get rid of these ones, and we can add some new ones.
Yours has come through. Mine didn't. Good.
It wasn't the first time I did that. Okay, I'm definitely going last.
Just about.
Okay. Oh, that's great. These little sludgy creatures don't look particularly mobile. So he basically rolled a 0 initiative, this guy here. Actually, I'll make it 1 because 0 seems unrealistic. Okay, so then this thing is going to roll. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to move you guys down because the little drop-down menu, when I click on it, goes off the screen. There we go. Okay, so Monty rolled a what now? 8.
8.
Cool. Zenarai rolled what?
8.
Okay. And Abe rolled
3, I think.
3. And Josa?
21.
21. All right. Now I'm going to arrange this in descending order. And first up to react, we have Josa.
Okay. pretty clear these guys are bad news bears. So I think I'm gonna just draw an arrow from my quiver and fire out the fucking spined goblin thing. But
Bear in
first of all,
mind,
I go.
bear in mind, you can't see anything,
Oh, I can't see out either.
and
Yeah.
that darkness follows you. So if I were you, I would use it to retreat, and the rest of us can pelt after you.
Okay.
You can still make an attack, but because you can't see anything, it would be with disadvantage.
Magical darkness spreads from a point you choose within range. Yeah. Okay. When do bonus actions take place?
There are specific types of actions. So, for example, if you have a spell or an ability that says as a bonus action, then you can use it as one. But if it does say that, if it says as an action, then you have to use it as an action.
Yeah, I've got Hunter's Mark, which is a bonus action.
Oh yeah, totally. You can totally do that. But does it say, if you click Hunter's Mark and put in the chat for us, it'll probably say a creature you can see within range or something?
Oh yeah, true. Okay, in that case, yeah, I'll just retreat to somewhere a bit safer. So, what's my movement speed? Can I, in one move, hop on the back of Dave and ride a bit further north?
Totally. I'll say he's right next to you because you guys stalk through the undergrowth kind of together. So it's not difficult to get on the back of him. What's his movement speed?
It's a she, by the way.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry. What is her movement speed?
Her movement speed is 50 feet.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'll say because she is a panther, she probably has a pretty good sense of direction. Which direction would you like her to go in?
Yeah, kind of northwest, sort of near to with the rest of the guys.
Northwest.
Maybe
okay,
just
cool.
like near here.
Okay, so
So I'm a bit further away and maybe just can't get chomped on in one move by the others.
Cool. So you can easily get there. Is there anything else you want to do, or is that the end of your turn?
You should also.
No, that's my action, isn't it, to move?
No, it's your movement. Your action is separate from that.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'm going to cast Good Berry.
Oh, here we go.
Going to get them good berries. Here we go.
I love, you've been encased in magical darkness, you hop on the back of a panther, you see devils flying in the sky, but good berry. That's probably what needs to happen.
Just going to stock up on those. Oh no, that's not to heal me, that's to summon them.
Yes.
If you summon a good berry, then you basically have one, and if you need to in the future, you can give it to someone who's unconscious, or you can give it to yourself to restore 1 hit point. It's good for bringing people back from unconsciousness, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I've summoned 10 berries, and I'm just gonna stuff them in my pocket.
Sweet. All right.
So I didn't mean to take one. I meant to just summon it.
Cool. You definitely have those. You can add them to your equipment list while we move on to the Spined Devil. What the Spined Devil does is, seeing Abe, it's going to fly 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, it makes it to here, and it sort of is going to make its intelligence. Okay. The devil is when it flies out of the range. Sorry, I'm just reading all its stats. Okay, cool. It is going to try and fork you. It attacked with an 8, but I assume that doesn't hit you?
No. I didn't hear that, but no, I don't think it does.
Your armor class, what is your armor class, just for reference?
20.
20, okay, cool. So it strikes with its little trident, but misses you, and it sort of embeds itself into the ground briefly. The Spined Devil squawks at you and pulls its fork out. Then it's going to try and bite you. With a 15, does that hit you?
No.
Nope. And
It's the armor thing, then no. Yeah.
Nice, okay. And it tries to bite into your armor, and it just clinks off, and you can hear its teeth scraping against the metal. And then it's going to try to No, I think that's the end of its attacks. So it just sort of looks at you, flummoxed by your natural resistance to its attacks, and it sort of glances over its shoulder at two sludge beings on the pathway and starts to evaluate its options. Next up is Zenurai.
What language does the spine demon speak?
Well, you've only heard it squawking, but you can sort of make out what language. I'll say it speaks. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Give me a second. You recognize the language that it's speaking. Yeah, you recognize it.
As in, it's one of the languages I speak.
Sorry?
As in, I speak its language.
Yes, you.
Okay. So for my action, first I talk to the spine demon.
Okay.
So I say to it, "You are clearly outnumbered here. Your pathetic attacks barely grazed my companion. We will not attack you. Continue with your duties, and we will leave you unaccosted, and we'll all walk away from this."
Okay, make either persuasion or intimidation check.
I'll go intimidation.
I feel like the words puny mortal were at the end of that sentence. Okay, wow. With a 23, you see the spined devil sort of looks kind of surprised that you can speak to it, and it sort of like flaps its wings uncertainly and starts to turn its body back towards the wagon, and you get the sense from its body language that it's very confused, but seems to be taking up a more passive posture. We'll see what it actually does in its turn, but that's your assessment. Is there anything else you would like to do with your turn?
I move to retreat back towards Orpheus.
Okay, so you move how many feet?
North as far as I can go.
Okay, I'll say you go off the map. I'll put you there. Cool.
Alright, see ya.
See ya. Next up is Monty.
Later.
Okay. Right. I think I'll still go ahead with my plan. I am going to bless. Well, I can definitely bless Abelardo and Josa. How far did Zenurai run?
I think Zenurai can only run 30 feet, so 30 feet.
Okay. I will also
Just like
bless them.
turned around and ran away.
I'll bless all three of the others.
Okay, so you bless Abe and Josa and yourself, or you can also reach Zenurai?
Yeah, I'll bless Zenurai.
Oh, you can, within your... Okay, 30 feet. Sweet. In that case, that means that you guys can all, whenever you make a saving throw or an attack roll, you can add a d4 to the number that you roll.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Is there anything else you would like to do, Monty?
I'll just move back a little bit, like 10 feet.
Okay, so I'll move you back here.
So are we just like letting these guys go? I thought we were going to murk them.
Well, yeah, I've already intimidated them away, so we might as well leave them. Fuck off.
No. Well, but we just don't know what they're doing. What's that black stone?
Yeah, but those like fucking hench guys look pretty intimidating.
Did you say hench?
I don't fuck with demons, so I'm off.
Oh, that's gold. I haven't heard the
What,
word hench used in that context in a long time.
Okay, I mean, yeah, my Joseph's natural sort of kill all monsters approach to life meant he was definitely expecting to ambush and kill these things. So he's kind of confused about Zenuai running away. And I guess I can't actually see that, can I? I mean, maybe I heard what you said, but I can't actually.
Wait, you heard me gibbering in Draconic.
I think that
Yeah, true.
I don't trust demons.
How long does your fucking dark vision thing last?
That's
It's
impressive.
concentration, I believe. So wouldn't that have been dropped when Zenurai ran away?
No, concentration doesn't require, you can still move while concentrating.
Okay. Fair.
Okay.
So it's actually Monty's turn still. Is it the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Next up, is this thing. So this thing here is going to sort of look. You see it vaguely look up at this spined creature, and they share like a glance, and you hear some like muttered words, and it proceeds to move. Hold on, let me double check the movement speed. Okay, so I'll say that is 1, 2, 3. So I'll put him like there, and then this wagon doesn't move, but like just assume that it does. Like use your imagination that it moves.
Wait, what? I don't understand this imagination thing. What's going on?
Actually, I'll
Can I
show
have a
you.
translation of what I said?
Hold on one second. I'm just gonna just to help Ash with his lack of imagination. I'm going to just clarify this.
That image right there is what the inside of my head is like.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually maybe this would have been a better way for me to do that whole like darkness thing. All right. So yes, what you hear, Zenarai, is that the little creature down here says to the flying creature, like, "Do we continue?" And the flying creature says, "Yes, continue for now." And they keep pulling the wagon. So that's what that thing does. Next up is Abe.
Yep.
What would you like to do?
So they spoke to one another and they were like, "Shall we continue?" And they went, "Continue for now." And they're walking down the road.
I like you gave
Well-
these like sludgy
well,
creatures much more jovial quality.
Yeah.
No, there we go.
Just a quick interjection. Should the whole party know that, or should I just know?
Well, no, only you know, but it's like
Okay.
it's like the rest of the players will just have to pretend they don't know that.
Okay.
Okay, given that that thingy is still around me and the others are coming closer, should I run or should I attack it?
That is your decision, Abe. I mean, I'm feeling feisty personally, guys.
Yeah, I want to fuck these things up.
I'm
Go on.
running back towards you.
I blessed you guys ready for something.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to attack it with that one.
Warhammer.
Yeah, do you have advantage as well? Because we persuaded them we weren't going to attack and he turned away a bit.
Well, no, not necessarily, because they can still clearly see that you're there. The advantage would have to be if they didn't see you physically, or there's a couple of other circumstances. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hit who, Abe?
The flying thing that is around me.
Okay, cool. So that's a natural 20. I just gotta figure out how it's actually calculating this. It's 1d8. I don't know why it's a crit. What is it? 1d8 plus 2 is. Oh, it's just giving you max damage. Oh no, it's not. Okay. Okay, so that means we're gonna do 8. 8 is what you rolled.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how it's calculating it. Do you mind just rolling? Because it definitely hits. But can you click on the damage like separately, just so it does the damage like by itself?
How?
I'm not sure. But you could just go. Actually, I'll do it for you. So let's roll this one.
It's funny, you can do it here.
One of these and
Oh, I see.
D10. Oh,
The damage is
1d8 plus 2.
are you doing this one-handed or two-handed? Like, do you have a shield, for example?
I do have a shield. I don't know if I have it on.
Is it being wielded? I'll say.
Wait, that's good. Yes, yeah, it's equipped.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
In that
so
case,
that would be one-handed.
yes, exactly. Okay, so you rolled a 6, so that doubles to 12 because it's a crit. Then plus 2 for your modifier would be 14 of bludgeoning damage. Wow, that's a big hit. Let me just see if anything happens. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's bludgeoning. Okay, so 12. You notice this thing takes the hit, but it doesn't do as much damage as you would expect. It seems to sort of like resist some of the effects. Oh wow, I got so much stuff going on here. So
They're going to be immune to physical damage, and our only spellcaster is heading back to Orphea.
Right, I'll fuck him up.
I have
Cool.
2 spells.
This is where the healer comes through.
okay, is that the end of your turn, Abe?
Yeah, because if I move, it will give him a counterattack, would it?
If you move away, they would get an attack of opportunity.
I'll stay where I am. I'm
Okay,
fine.
cool. Next up is this thing. This thing deferred its turn basically to pull with the other lemur, so therefore it is Joseph's turn.
Okay, so I've still got this like dark circle, whatever it's called, around me. But that's around me, isn't it? So my panther could run in, I guess.
Yeah, because you're still on the panther, so you could like release it.
Yeah, that's true. I could hop off the panther and send it to go and do a pounce on the spine devil thing.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna find a little.
My action.
I'm just gonna grab the symbol for panther. Just give me 1 second. What are you giggling about?
Zenarai's presentation.
Zenarai's what?
Zenarai's talking to
Yeah. I've kind of shown my hand a little bit.
Okay, so let me just bring up this panther here. Okay, okay, here it is. Oh, cool icon for a panther. Okay, so you send your panther in what direction?
To attack the spine devil.
Okay, cool. So I'll say it's kind of a little bit high up, but if it does an athletics check, then you can see how high it can jump. So roll an athletics check for this creature. So for the panther, do you have stats?
It's got a 40-foot. Oh no, it's not a 40-foot climb. Athletics check. Don't know. What would that be? Dexterity?
Oh, sorry, it would be strength based.
Strength. Okay. That do it. 14.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'll say it can jump up. So do its regular attack. Does it bite or claw or something?
So yeah, so it has to do a pounce. It moves 20 feet forward, and then it hits it with a claw attack. So I attack with that.
Yeah, go hit me.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, critting left, right, and center, guys.
So now you have to roll a DC 12 strength saving throw. Otherwise,
Okay.
you get knocked prone.
Let me see if that can happen here. Strength saving throw. Okay, so it gets a +0. So I'm going to do a little roll here. Oh my gosh, I rolled an actual 1. That is definitely knocked prone. So you see it fall from its like 5-foot position and hit the ground, and it takes whatever damage that is, which is, I think it keeps.
Well, so it's
It's like
claw.
calculating it so poorly. Plus, okay, so I'll just do it manually because we don't really know what that is yet.
I'm guessing you blessed Dave as well, right?
No, it can only be 3 creatures, so
No,
that wouldn't be enough. Okay, so you rolled a 4, so that's 8 plus 2 is 10. So it does 10 of slashing damage. Is that right?
Melee attack, slashing damage. Yep.
Okay. So again, you feel like that attack by Dave should have done more damage, but you can't really see it. But you hear Dave's grunting through the darkness indicates that Dave is surprised that Dave didn't do more damage.
He does get to do a bonus bite attack because
Okay.
you knocked him prone.
Go for it.
So.
Nice.
Oh!
This is amazing. This is huge. Okay, so I don't like the way it's calculating crits, so I'm just going to do them manually. So then it's so you got a 4 on the d6, which is 8, plus 2 is 10. Okay, so then you see that the creature looks to be on death's door, and you hear triumphant growling noises from Dave. Is there anything else you would like to do? Yeah, this all works because your beast companion like uses your action to attack. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Sweet. Next up is the Spine Devil. So the Spine Devil is feeling very concerned about its well-being at the moment. Okay, sweet. So it's gonna use half its movement to stand up, and then it's going to fly away. And because of its special ability, it doesn't provoke an opportunity attack when it flies away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so it basically flies away and lands on the wagon beside the rock and uses its action to push the rock, or attempt to push the rock, off the back of the wagon to hit the ground, and it's going to make a strength check. It makes an 18. It successfully pushes this rock off, and it hits the ground, and you hear this sort of like thudding noise, and then you all feel like this weird sense of fatigue in your body, and you're not quite sure what's causing it, but you feel less strong than you did before. And you notice that the side of the rock has a symbol that starts glowing this green color. And that's the end of its turn. Next up is Zenarai, running up here.
Faz, what the fuck are you doing?
So I've run clear of the battlefield to convene with my patron, who's Sylvanas, Lord of the Forest from the Druidic culture I grew up in. She had sent me a private mission to make sure that none of the party were touched by the demonic embrace of the demon. Hence why I covered Hugo in darkness and tried to get everyone to run the fuck away. But obviously now you guys have engaged them, we're a bit screwed. So I'm going to run back and see what I can do to support.
Okay, so you've got 30 feet, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So where are you trying to get to?
Just back to the main body of people, to sort of about where Monty is, if I can get there.
You can get right next to Abe if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe in between the two will be good. So there's a tank in front of me.
Cool, you're right there.
Okay. I shout to the imp to try and engage it more in Draconic.
So you're talking about the flying thing?
Yeah.
Okay, you shout to it to try to get it to... What do you shout to it? You can type it to me, you can say to me, like, what is it? Because you're the only one that would really understand the language.
No,
Yeah.
you. I speak Draconic.
Huh?
Sorry, no. He means he doesn't mean draconic. He means infernal.
Oh, sorry, I think you meant Draconic.
So I shout at the demon, stop. What can we do to prevent this happening?
Okay. You'll find out what the creature says on its turn, but it seems to like register that you've communicated with it. Do you do anything else with your turn?
I don't. I think I'll wait for now and save my spells for the next.
Okay.
Say Josa, not being able to see anything, is doing the comedy, like looking at Zenarai and then looking at the imp, and then looking at Zenarai and looking at the imp.
So
like,
this is what Joseph does, encased in darkness, without anyone to appreciate the comedy value.
Comedy is just for him.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. That ends that turn. Monty's turn.
Sweet. Sorry, Zenara, what was it that you shouted when you came back?
So I shouted to the spined imp to stop. What can we do to avoid this? Something like that. I can't remember my exact wording.
Oh, you don't know that because it was in.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could ask him right now. What did you say to that thing?
Yeah.
That's what I tell you.
Yeah. Cool. Just a quick rules question. Like, so for example, just to understand, if that imp's like running away from Abelardo, why didn't Abelardo get an attack of opportunity on it?
Yeah, you usually would, but this specific creature, the Spine Devil, has an ability where when it flies away from a creature, it doesn't provoke an opportunity attack. But if it, like, for example, if it walked away, then it would.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to understand the basic rules of that. But okay, cool. Fuck.
Can you ask Zenarai? Can I like talk out of turn?
Yeah.
Wait for my turn to talk.
No, you can talk. I mean, yeah, you guys you're only just starting, so like, you know, talking to each other as players is fine. You don't only have to talk in character.
in character, then Joseph says, "Get this fucking dark vision off me! I want to shoot him."
Okay.
So,
I reply, I can't. It's a concentration effect. It's stuck on you.
so Zanaya, would you suggest then that we do nothing? We just
I would
see
suggest
things
I suggest we use this opportunity to flee now that they've
Okay.
retreated.
Now that no one is near, we could just do that, yeah?
This conversation can have taken place during the previous turns, but it is currently Monty's turn. But you can still talk. Like I was saying, Hugo, you don't have to say everything in character. You guys can talk as players and then cut into character and talk in character and like mix between the two. That's fine.
Yep. Okay.
So Monty.
Okay, so I am going to.
Bear in mind they attacked first,
Oh yeah.
so these are hostile creatures. We're not
Oh
like.
yeah. No, it's true, and I don't know what shit Zenori's whispering to them. I don't know what
Yeah,
the fuck
one thing's for certain is you can't trust this guy at all.
I don't know what the fuck this game is. Okay, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on the nearest Lemure.
Okay, cool. Can you chuck that in the chat or just tell me, do I need to make a saving throw probably?
Yeah, it's a Dex.
Dex save. Okay, cool. I think I just want to try see what this does. Attributes and abilities. No, that's not it. What if I click? Because those are all these shortcuts I'm not using, so I just want to test this one. It'll probably just do a normal. It's a dexterity save, right?
Yeah.
It'll probably just do a normal check, but I want to see what happens.
This is a D8 Dex save.
No, it's a DC 13 dex save, right? Oh, it's an 8, yeah. Okay, cool. So, 1 to 20 equals 11 plus minus 3. It's so funny. Okay, so it fails, so does it take just more damage now?
Yeah, 1d8.
Okay,
1d8
cool.
radiant.
Also, do you target the one like on the top side or the bottom
that one.
side? This top one.
Top side.
Okay,
Yeah.
so...
Should I just manually roll a d8 for damage now?
Oh, actually, I think it's already rolled it for you. It says...
That's the 3 radiant.
So, yeah, you rolled a 3. And if they made the save, they would have taken half. Is that how it works?
Okay, cool.
No, I'm asking is that what the spell says?
Oh, sorry. Or I guess nothing happens. It says it must succeed on it or take 1d8 radiant damage.
Oh, okay. So it would avoid it. I see. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, that happens. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
I can't use cantrips twice a turn, can I?
If you have an ability that allows you to cast a spell, like an action spell, as a bonus action, then you can use your regular action to cast a cantrip, but I don't think you are that class or at that level yet.
Yeah, okay, cool. In which case, I will pull out my sling and pelt it with my other action.
I think because you cast spell, that is your action. So you.
Oh, that's like my combat action. So the only other things I can do is like move. Is that right?
Yeah, move or interact with an object or talk. Those kind of other things.
Can I like prepare myself to defend or something like that?
You could, but it takes your action. What you're describing is called the dodge action. So that means if you want to use your whole action to just prepare yourself to avoid future attacks, then you basically put yourself in this stance, and all creatures have disadvantage on attacking you for that turn.
Okay. Okay. So in which case, there's not much I can do really. So yeah.
Okay, cool. This thing, you see that this creature here, it sort of like starts to like look over its shoulder, and it suddenly disappears. And that is the end of its turn. Next up is Abe.
Right. So, Zvedaya, is it? No, Zeraya.
Zeraya.
Zeraya. Sorry. So you suggest we run then?
I was suggesting we run because so what happened on my end was that I got a voice inside my head, which is from my patron, who said, "Whatever you do, don't engage these guys. Don't let them hit you. Don't touch the rock." Because of obviously the fatigue that we just felt, and there's something else is going on here. So that's why I tried to get everyone out of the fucking way as soon as possible. And I don't know what the hell he's doing pushing that off, but suddenly we all feel this fatigue. one wonders if it's a bomb or something like that. And it seems to me that that's a hell of a lot more trouble.
Okay. Well, then what I'm going to do is not run yet, just in case the guys need protection. But I am going to do that thing you suggested, get in a defensive stance, which means I guess that I'll grab my hand axe instead of the warhammer and my shield, which I can use to protect others. Can that be my action?
Yeah, you can take the dodge action for sure. I'll do a little symbol here so that we remember that. What's a dodge looking action? I'm going to use a ninja symbol because I think that looks like a dodging type thing. Awesome. Okay, that is your turn. Next up is the lemur, this other one. And the lemur seems to tilt its head as though it's listening to something. And then it too just disappears in this sort of burst of flames and it is gone. Next up is Josa.
Oh man, we need to kill that imp.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is, I have rangers are actually pretty good at casting spells. So I have concentration spells and know full well that you can end them whenever you want. So what Zeno said doesn't ring true.
Do you say this out loud or?
I think I would then say, it's a concentration spell. You can just end it whenever you want.
You hear this enormous black sphere start making suggestions to you.
To Zenoi, who I hope will respond.
You guess the direction. Roll. Actually, you can probably hear it with your ranger senses. I'll say you can roughly guess where Zenoi is standing.
Yeah, well, they're only, what's that, 15, 20 feet away, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
I've kept that spell on you for your own good, Jozo.
Okay, so
Well,
you
take it off. I can handle my own business.
I don't think you can, Jozo. I think we should all move into the darkness. Protect yourself from what that imp's about to do.
It can't do anything if we kill it. And then I command my panther to attack it again.
Okay, so it's gonna move. It has 40 feet of movement. Did you say?
It has 50 feet of movement.
Yeah, it gets there easily. What attack does it use?
I'm just gonna use a pounce again because that's fucking sweet.
Yeah, roll it up.
So if it moves 20 feet forward, what's that do if I click that?
Oh, that's a strength save.
Move forward. Claw attack. So claw.
Oh, but it only successfully knocks the person down if you hit
if the first claw attack is successful.
And
then
if it fails, it's saving throw. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So the first attack was 21 though. Man, this panther is OP.
Yeah, I know. That's Do you have is your what's your main skill? Dexterity as a ranger?
Yeah.
What's your dexterity modifier?
+4.
Yeah, that's why it's getting +4 in its attacks, because it's your bonded creature. It gets your modifier. Cool.
Sweet.
So that
Nice.
hits. So now I need to do a strength thing. Whopow. It gets a 10, so it fails. So it's on the ground, and then it does 6 slashing damage. Did you say?
Yep.
Okay. So it doesn't take as much damage as you would expect, but it's 70 damaged. And now what happens?
I don't get to bite it.
Because it successfully pounced.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whoa.
Or 15.
A 15. Okay, that hits, and then it does 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
David's MVP. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay, you see this thing. It just sort of slashes into it by the panther and bites into it, and you see it start to ooze this dark grey liquid, and the corpse just lies there on the ground. How do you want the panther to perform this death blow?
So it's charged out of the undergrowth where it had sort of retreated to slightly after its last attack, and it ran away. And then it pounces and it pounds over to it, jumps up a few feet into the air again, takes it down, rips its fucking leg off, and then as it's kind of gargling and kind of thrashing around, it just bites its whole face off in one.
Okay.
And does seven piercing damage, and then kind of does like a head shaky kind of like thing to drag its corpse around a bit, but it's already dead.
Okay, that definitely happens, and we are out of combat.
And Joseph's looking at it like, shit.
Cool. What do you guys
Can I
want to
make
do
an
now?
important suggestion?
Sorry.
Why did those two goons just disappear? It's because there's something fucky with that orb. I would recall your pet quickly, Hugo, before it blows up.
Get rid of my dark vision. I'll think about it.
Okay, I end the concentration spell.
Okay. I just want to use this tool because I think it's really cool. And then the darkness ended. Isn't that cool? I should have done that in the first place rather than like drawing a black circle. Awesome. So you can now see. Congratulations.
Cool.
Great.
Didn't really need to do anything.
Okay, before anyone touches it, because that means we're out of fight, like out of combat, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, before anyone touches it, should I sense if it's good or evil?
What are you trying to sense?
Well, this was in range last time you did that, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't in range. It was barely in range. That's why
Okay.
we only got a bit of a tingle.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, clearly, Zenoi, who I don't trust anymore, thinks this is dangerous. Yeah, let's approach this with caution. But I also, I kind of do a little whistle, and Dave sort of drops this mangled corpse of this thing.
Okay.
And comes back over to me, but I'm like very much still alert and in a battle mode because I think that there might still be danger around, even from within the party.
I mean,
Okay.
we don't know if those guys are even dead. The two goons just might have gone invisible.
Well, they burst into flames. But yeah.
but they're demony stuff.
No, very true. Yeah, but magic is not Joseph's strong point, so he's willing to just sort of let some magic users work this one out.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's mine, and I'm saying let's fucking be careful about this orb.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to first figure out if it's good or bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Okay.
good
Are
idea.
you going to cast it?
Yeah. I marked it as pass.
Oh, okay, it didn't pull through.
No, it didn't
Okay.
come up.
All right, so Divine Sense isn't pulling through, but
okay, that's okay. Where do you go from where you are, or do you change where you're physically
Okay.
standing?
Yeah, I'll move closer so that it's within reach because it's 60 feet.
Cool. And you're trying to get the stone specifically?
Sorry?
You're trying to
Yeah.
target the stone specifically? Okay.
Mhm.
5, 10,
I
15,
think
20.
that should work. Yes.
Nice, you nailed it. All right, within 60 feet is pretty much there, so you're good there. Okay, the presence of triangle residents and magnetism powerful. Oh, here we go. Look at this description. It's so vivid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Something you can use until next turn. You know the location of any celestial. And everything that is not. You know the type of any being. Within same radius, detect presence of any place, consecrated, desecrated. You can use this feature a number of times. Cool. Okay, so you can mark off your second use of divine sense. I think you have
Yeah.
three uses in total. And what you sense is like a noxious stench coming off of the rock just here. You get the sense that the ground surrounding it in a, I think, 10-foot radius is considered desecrated. So you get the sense that there's a strong evil influence that has been imbued in the ground as a result of the rock. And you're not sure what that desecration would do if you were within range of it, but this is what you detect.
Okay.
Mm.
Hey
I have
guys.
an idea.
Yeah.
We could sell this motherfucker to that guy at the arcane shop to redeem ourselves and make shitloads of cash as well.
Does anyone have any like evil handling gloves?
Hang on.
Sounds like Wile E. Coyote setting off to Acme for some special gloves.
Yeah.
How much does the rock weigh? Do we know?
You could make a guess, which would require an intelligence check.
Okay.
Okay, I think I've got an idea. Okay. I've got a plan.
Are you going to do that check, Zenarai?
Yeah,
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Oh, actually, yeah, I'll do it.
And then, Monty, you're up next with your scheme. It sounds like you've got a scheme brewing.
I got scheme brewing. What was it, Zenora, you doing? Sorry?
Just trying to do an intelligence check.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't have that in my additional skill.
Sorry, it's not a skill. You just click on your intelligence modifier,
Okay.
and then it should give you the button. There you go. All right. So with the 16, you would guess that it's somewhere between 400 and 500 kilos.
Shit.
Wow. How did that fucking imp push it on the ground?
Well, he made a pretty high strength check. And you also noticed that the bottom of the rock was kind of pointy, like big pencil. So that probably provided more leverage. What are you going to say, Monty?
I was going to walk down to the sort of lip, the edge of the ridge that is just to the left of it.
So that would be like what here?
So we're kind of standing over it, yeah. And basically, I'm gonna attempt to throw a receptacle of holy water at it.
Okay.
Nice moves.
Okay, so give us either a dexterity check or an athletics check.
Oh, what? Sorry, dexterity or
Or athletics.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So with a 6,
Six.
you throw your holy water and it lands about here, and you notice as it disperses into the soil and the grass, you notice the soil and grass start to perk up and be a little bit greener and brighter. And then
Sweet.
That makes me very happy.
you also feel a little bit embarrassed that you couldn't successfully throw 20 feet.
Oh well. I like improving my community and nature.
Exactly. It's kind of embarrassing at first, but then you think, then that grass probably is going to have a better time.
Can't really work out what to do with this thing. I feel like my holy water would have been perfect, but
Yeah, if you have more, I don't know how much it says you have, but if you have more, you can try again.
I have a flask, and I kind of in my mind I put it. I kind of just either slung it or put it in a small bowl and threw it. So I think I have more in the flask, but I don't know.
How's your athletics in general?
It says I have. It says I have 1 flask worth.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll say it. You probably threw it because it doesn't sound like a large container or anything like that.
All right. Okay. So do I not have it anymore? Or...
You don't have it anymore, no. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you would know as a cleric, right? That it's not terribly difficult to get hold of. You just need to go to a senior member of a religious order and get them to bless just a bit of normal water in their holy building, and then you've got holy water.
Okay.
So it's not like a family heirloom that you've now destroyed or anything.
Okay.
Before Hugo gets back, is there any schemes or plans you want to prepare to then try to sell him on? I mean, what are you guys thinking at the moment?
I was thinking if we could look at the cart that we're bringing it in, because if everything is rotting around it and the cart managed to make it,
Very good point.
Yeah.
what is the wagon like, and can we just try and get it on without touching it?
Okay, so
I think we should take it to the city and sell it to that guy, or at least if he won't give us money for it, we'll give it to him as a gift, and it'll desecrate his shop. I'm not paying them.
Just getting it there that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
good idea.
How do we handle this thing? That's the problem. I have no way of
We need
handling
a giant
this.
spoon.
I think we should sacrifice Hugo's pet to test the desecration.
That's a very good idea.
Wait, you can get a nanny.
Me?
Yeah, you have your bag.
Yeah. We could sacrifice an animal from the bag.
I never thought
Yeah.
this.
If you get a fucking giant elk, you'll be able to pick it up. It's 400
Yeah,
kilos.
there's also a likelihood of just getting like a badger, which I don't think.
So I sacrificed it. It's fine.
I think this is a good use of a creature's life.
I feel terrible, but it's the only thing I can think.
Good, we're all agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So, Joseph, could you see any way of handling this evil thing? Because I can't, and I'm out of holy water.
Well, what happened when you threw the water at
I missed it,
it?
and now I don't have any more holy water.
Can you bless water? Have you got any other? I've got water. Can you bless that?
I
And
can,
throw
I
it
can
out?
only bless people. Unfortunately, only people can be blessed.
Okay, I'll say as well. Maybe between this session and the next, you guys can have a think about how you want to deal with it because it's kind of an interesting problem to deal with.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll say as you're standing there around this rock at a safe distance, sort of like examining it and wondering what your next move is, you hear this bell ringing in the distance towards in the direction of Orphea, and you look and you see there's like a bell tower sort of towards the inner of the outer ring of the sea. And it looks like the city has finally noticed belatedly this little scuffle that has taken place, and they seem to be making some sort of alarm or warning the city or calling something in some way. And it sounds, you can also hear the sort of sounds of little crowds of people going, "Huh, what? Huh? What? Huh?" And you hear that distantly reach you about a couple of 100 feet away. And there's this sense of unease settling across the land. And that is where we will end the session.